pay for this shit. Shut up.
Oh, start it right there.
That's
Start it
funny.
right there.
That's funny because I just started recording. You got picked up for that.
What episode is this, Woody?
167, motherfucker.
Holy fucking shit.
Wow.
I know, right?
That's insane.
I always notice on the subreddit, they're like, this is the 200th episode anniversary of this or that. And I think the last one I saw was the one, I think it was maybe the 200th episode anniversary of Wings Syndicate 1v1, and they were clamoring, asking for another 1v1.
I can't. 100 episodes ago?
Something like that. Maybe 200. It might have been 200.
No,
Wow.
we haven't even got to 200 episodes.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I was about to say, how could you?
I am from the future.
Kyle just asked what episode it was, and he got an answer. And then he's like, "No, maybe it was 200. Maybe it was more than 40 episodes ago, more than we've ever done, or well, the show collective."
37. Anyway.
But yeah, I would like to see that. I would like to see you take on Syndicate again, but not in a video game. I want to see something else. I want to see you take on Syndicate in like a physical challenge or something like that. I want to see you take this guy
I
out.
can
Tire
see
flips.
him taking on, but something not COD necessarily, right? Like 1v1
I haven't played
chess,
COD in like a
1v1 checkers. You know, we could do Wings versus Syndicate in what the hell's the game that Kyle narrowly beat me in?
Civilization.
Yeah, that's when Kyle got so lucky. I remember that. So
You know, I got embarrassed last time, so I'm gonna need to stack the odds in my favor. So
It
I'm gonna
wasn't
go 1v1 in pancake eating.
in pancake eating, Syndicate's.
I bet Syndicate would beat you in pancake eating.
I bet he would too. You know, to be a fat guy, I suck at eating. I do.
I follow Syndicate on Twitter, and I've noticed that he has been getting, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe that's just his regular thing and he always has, but it seems to me that he's gotten really into physical fitness as of like the last year, and it seems like he's doing like tons and tons of push-ups and swimming like thousands of meters at a time and all kinds of crazy stuff. So he may be a handful in the pancake eating.
I wonder. I wonder.
Yeah, he's like that Kobayashi guy.
Woody
Yeah,
versus
exactly.
Syndicate 1v1 swimming. Let's go.
I haven't swum in years though.
No, Woody versus
I took him on myself for that one. Syndicate,
Yeah.
you me, 50 yards or meters or whatever. I'll go yards, you go meters.
Woody's
I
got his
like
own
it.
little thing. He's like, okay, Syndicate is going to start out in the surf. He's going to be under the water, and I have to go save him.
A jellyfish has stung him.
No, I was thinking of pool, but
Oh.
yeah, make that
I'm thinking
happen.
what I could actually beat him in. Like I know he couldn't like physically move me. Like that's something.
A
But he
debate.
can't
How about a
breathe.
debate?
So some sort of seesaw related
You
contest.
could use a fulcrum.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like yeah, I could 1v1 seesaw. That's a good one.
He would just be up in the air on his end.
His feet dangling
looking up at him
around.
like
Let me
what?
down.
I'm waiting.
Wings,
I'm
let
waiting.
me down. Let me down.
You want down? I own this. I'll give you a little bit.
Gravity is my greatest strength, little man.
So I don't
So
think
how-
we have a sponsor because we're doing the show early. It's actually we usually do the show on Friday, but because it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, we're doing it Thursday,
Yeah.
and I'll upload it Saturday, I guess, like I always do. I don't know.
Do you have special Valentine's plans?
No, dude, I'm old and I've been married for so long.
Okay. So maybe
I've
there's
got-
not some special
right.
dinner, but is there, some flowers, some chocolates, some sort of,
There is.
negligee?
In one of my
what do you-
live streams, I literally handled it. I was like, let's see, we got some chocolate-covered strawberries here. Bada bing, bada bang. We got...
All right, good. So y'all motherfuckers help me out.
Tomorrow, the chocolate-covered strawberries will arrive. They're paid for. We're all good.
All right.
Okay. So those are your Valentine's plans. I want to. We'll get to you 1 second, Wings, because I know you're clamoring for advice on your Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I am.
But I'm wondering if Lefty has any special plans.
Well, my girlfriend is working tomorrow, and it sucks because she gets off like later at night, and it's like it's right in that time zone where it's like, is it too late to go to dinner, or is it? It's like, is it?
You
too
know what
late
you
to
gotta
go to a
do?
movie? What?
You got to cook her dinner, and it's waiting on her when she gets home.
But I found a nice little Italian bistro that's open until later at night, and I hope she can't hear this because she's in the next room over. But Yeah, I found a nice little place for him to take
I
him.
seen a motherfucking puppy.
Very
Is that part of
nice.
the Valentine's Day?
No. Oh no. That puppy was expensive, and I was like, we were playing with it. I was like, oh, he's so cute, and I'm like, it was one of those. Okay, so let's talk price, and I figured it would be like buying a car, except you're buying a little organism thing. And the guy was like, it's 2,500. I'm like,
Whoa, what kind of dog is this?
Wow.
It's a boxer. It was a boxer.
Fuck that shit. Go to the pound, bro.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
I was like, oh, it's I made some more like, oh, so like
When you say boxer, like Muhammad Ali, like this is a person fight, right? Like, dear
I
God.
see. I would have went a total opposite way. It's like, oh, so when's the next time you're not going to be home and the puppy will be home?
Yeah.
So why is it so? I assume he comes from some sort of champion lineage.
yeah, it's something, and so I made some more other like because it was clearly that I was out as soon as the price was dropped, but I had to make it because Katie liked playing with the puppy.
Oh, so you
and I
didn't
liked
get
playing
it?
with the puppy. No.
Okay.
I did not get it. But I still had to make it seem as though like, oh, I'm still kind of interested. No, I'm not. I'm not at all. I do not have that kind of money to just plop down.
Yeah, $2,500 dog is ridiculous, especially a puppy. What if it
Look
turns out to be all
look how
fucked
badly
up?
Kyle's happened.
Trust me, you don't want to be buying $2,500 dogs. They'll turn on you.
Yeah.
So, Wings, tell me. All right, so I guess
I need help. All right, first off, I got a girlfriend that hates going out to eat. So
Wait.
Like,
I didn't
it
realize
just
you had
doesn't
someone.
excite her.
Is this the furniture woman?
Is the furniture woman.
Okay.
She doesn't like going out to eat.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't excite her. Like it's something that I guess I do too often.
This is a woman who's interested in what I call the bonus plan.
What is the bonus plan?
You
What
bend
is
her
this?
over and take care of business.
Oh, so you do some plumbing.
Chocolate covered strawberries and the bonus plan. She sounds golden. Carry on.
Oh, only thing I had for was send the flowers at the work. That's the solid one. You give the flowers in front of all the other hens, and they get excited. The only problem with the flowers is you got to get something good. You can't give the bitch flowers, and they be not as good as the other bitch's flowers.
Wings,
You
man.
know-
You came to us for advice. I feel like you should be giving out the advice. I think you're solid here, right? You've got the hens, the whole environment. Does she work in a place with lots of women?
She does.
Yeah. See, everywhere I've worked, there's lots of men, so it wouldn't really work out. But if she works in a place where other women work and they all see the flowers arrive and you're even outdoing the other lesser boyfriends with good flowers, I like where you're headed with this.
Yeah,
you
but
don't
see,
want to be the one who sends the shitty arrangement of flowers, and
Right.
like some chick over there has like 24 long stem roses.
Yeah. You want some shit that bitches come by her desk and be like, "Ooh, look at this."
Yeah, you want people to be like tripping over it all day. It's so big and ridiculous.
You want to impact business operations with your floral arrangement.
Yes, yes. You want her boss to complain about the size of her arrangement.
You know what, though? I'm thinking if you want visual impact, maybe balloons. Either balloons or balloons attached to the flowers.
That's what I usually do. I usually do I usually get one of those deals where they're in like a cup, and they have all kinds of flowers that aren't roses because roses are fucking ridiculously priced.
Only this
And
time
then
of year.
And then you'll just put balloons on the cup handle.
There you go.
There you go.
So what did you need advice about?
Well,
Yeah.
that's all I've got. That's everything. That's the
There you
whole
go.
arsenal there. I mean,
Yeah, dude. Between the two of us, we got this covered. Your flowers.
I think you
little
also
bonus
need-
plan. You're set.
Okay, but when she gets off work, Friday night or Friday afternoon, is she going to come over to your place? You go into hers? Like what's the evening
we're
plans?
going to hers because she lives closer to the beach. I mean, ain't shit in Conway.
All right, so you're going over to her place, and what's going to happen then?
I don't know. Hopefully, not get my ass chopped about not having a good enough Valentine's Day. I suck at
No,
Valentine's
that
Day.
never happens. No woman has ever been, no normal woman that you would want to stick around with has ever been like, my flowers weren't good enough. No, nobody's that big of a cunt. I think she's going to be happy with your gift, especially the way you've described it. You could get away with this thing for like $40-$50 probably.
I already bought it. I bought that shit in January. Just had it
Smart.
lined up to be delivered
I like
in
it.
February.
Wings knows how to get Wing. This is the only area in your life where you're ultra organized in. It's like getting pussy. Wings is like, what? There's pussy involved? Why didn't you say so? I feel like if you had like, this is why when you were getting your personal trainer, I suggested maybe a hot female physical trainer, and it's why what I really meant was a prostitute. So stick with me here. If you had a literal whore training you, and she was like maybe wearing a skirt with no panties, and maybe you're like, I can't do another sit up. She's like spreading her legs. She's like, well, I guess you won't be able to see this from down there, and you like got to sit up to see her pussy. Then Wings is by the end of that Wings is like John Stamos after like 8 months.
I'm motherfucking on the fucking sit-up machine, just doing those 180-degree sit-ups.
Yeah, you just need proper motivation.
What's the number now, Wings?
On my sit-ups?
No,
Sit-ups
on your weight. I know that you had kind of a
still the
hiccup.
same 392.
That's
My weight's behind. You can't read that, can you?
No.
No, it's reflecting too much light.
Well, my number's back there. It's 392.
All right. That's actually 4 pounds less than the last time you talked to me.
Yeah.
It is 4 pounds less,
But
it's not where I'd like it to be. I'm thinking it's been 2 months. I should be at like 340, and like I'm unhappy with that. But at the same effect, I'm in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
I am. I'm in the best shape of my life. I just got to concentrate. Got to drink more of this.
is that water?
Yes, water. It's
Yep.
my team ISI glass. Elite training.
You gotta get a Nalgene bottle, baby. It's all about the Nalgene bottle. I'm telling you.
So how bad was the?
Kyle bought me this.
Yeah.
Oh
That
my
cannot
God.
be safe to continue drinking out of. I'm just throwing that out there right now. There's a lot of carcinogens in that plastic.
I might buy it for you. This is ridiculous. The Nalgene bottle will change your life. It's the way to go.
So
Can
how
you
bad
only
was
get those from like an online shop or something? Where do
No. They sell them at hikers use them a lot. Mountain bikers use them, but they'll have it at REI and stuff. I think I get mine typically from Amazon.
I don't know if you guys watched my video about me. It was like a minute video I put up, dealing with a rock situation where it wasn't me. But dude, you can actually in that video you can see how much muscle I've put on in my arms and my neck and everything. It's ridiculous. Kyle knows. How weak was I at your house, Kyle?
You're pretty weak. You had trouble with some stuff. You've definitely gotten stronger. I can see it.
Oh, dude, I can do push-ups. Like even though push-ups aren't my normal routine. Doing that video. I didn't know if I could do push-ups, but I know I've been doing bench presses of 110, 115 pounds, and I can max out at 180. I'm like, I think I can do a push-up.
Just flip over, do it on your belly. Oh, do we need a new topic?
Yeah, you want to talk about these winter storms, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah, the entire.
Facts.
Oh my God! Ooh, maybe an inch of snow. Ooh, everything shuts down. Ha ha ha! Welcome to my. I was gonna say welcome to Earth, but it doesn't really, because you're already on Earth.
I don't think people understand the inch of snow is what shuts everything down. What shuts everything down is the fucking ice. We don't have salt trucks. We don't have plows. We don't have anything that normally would constitute combating winter weather. And another thing, we have really shitty trees out here that can't handle ice, like pine trees, for example. Pine trees, the needles freeze, the branch freezes, and it falls on the power lines. And
Let me jump in because I've lived in the north and the south. If you call Jersey the north, but it has a true winter. I think it gets respected as a winter state,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, that's a real winter.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not so much that the trees are worse. I don't think that's it because there's pine trees and such up north. It's that the trimming practices of the electrical company are not as diligent, right? Here in the south, because it typically doesn't ice up on the branches, and the branches don't fall over, and the trees don't have these issues, that they don't have to keep them clear of the electrical lines. Whereas, like in Jersey, it would look weird to see a tree anywhere near electrical line, like a falling distance or something, because clearly it's gonna fall this winter, or there's a good chance. Or if you have rows of trees that do that, that's a problem. So down here they don't trim the trees and they take out the power a little more often. The other thing, and this amazed me when I first moved here, how poorly they handle snow on the roads. Like Wings pointed out that we don't have salt trucks. I'm not an expert in this, but it used to be that every year, like the townships and stuff in Jersey would sort of guess how much salt they needed because it didn't keep for years. Like the salt from 2 years ago would either be like a giant salt block that you can't spread anymore, or it would be like it would just like whatever evaporate or do whatever salt does. So you would have to buy that winter's salt that winter. You couldn't just stock it up and keep it around. They'd run out of salt sometimes. Down here, they just don't buy salt. The chances are you won't need it this year. When it snows, it almost immediately melts, and that it's actually every couple of years. It's not usual that you have to do this. So, when we do get that occasional big snow, like 5 inches, that happens every couple of years, the yellow like caterpillar. What is it called with the big bucket in front of it? That like earth mover thing.
Bulldozer.
So a
Front-end
bulldozer
loader?
just pushes dirt, right?
Road.
What's the-
You're talking about a road scrape?
No,
motor-
it
just
picks
talking
up
about a
dirt and it
backhoe?
moves it to the side.
You're talking about a backhoe?
Oh, you're talking about a motor grader, one with the plow in the middle.
No,
Are you talking front end loader? Would
a
be the
front end loader. That's what I'm
there
looking
it
for.
is.
They use front end loaders in my area to move snow, like 2 feet at a time. They'll take a front end loader, they'll fill it with snow, and they'll dump it on the side of the road. And then a front end loader, they pick up the snow and they dump it on the side of the road. Those big trucks with the dump trucks with the plows in the front that like throw snow out the back and push snow from the front, that air salt out the back. They don't have those here. They use front end loaders. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we don't. And there's no reason to really be prepared for it though, because it happens like once every 4 years. It seems like it's very well. Where I am, because it happened about 2 years ago. We had about 4 or 5 inches, and then the only time before that was like 4 or 5 years before then, and we had a lot of ice. It just doesn't happen much. I was glad that picture on Reddit was in North Carolina and not like in Atlanta.
I thought it was funny. I was like, "This is right outside. I know where that is. I could." I was gonna say I could run that far. That'd be a hike. I'd be exhausted. But
You should have went for the picture. That would have been pretty funny.
Yeah, that was totally right. That's a road I travel on all the time.
Yeah, Atlanta really got embarrassed with that last little winter storm we had, which was literally like an inch and a half, 2 inches of snow. But that made North Carolina look almost as bad as we did.
Where's
People just stop driving. They're like, "Oh my God, snow!"
I tweeted out the picture. I think I can find it again. But
While he's finding it, I want to comment on this. People, you drive a Ford Taurus. Don't drive off the road. You can't do it.
Yeah, I don't
Put that
understand
out there.
who go out in the snow in their Ford Taurus. I don't get that because I've got a 4-wheel drive truck. So, it just when everybody's freaking out and talking about getting bread and milk, it seems so stupid to me. And now, if you don't have a 4-wheel drive truck, of course, go get your bread and milk. But when people who know me are like, "Do you have bread and milk?" I'm like, "What am I making? Like, am I making bread pudding over here? Like, yeah, I got eggs, brown sugar, and cinnamon too. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I don't have any raisins though. I don't need bread and milk. I need like soda and water and tea and."
I always assume the power's going to go out when ice hits the trees.
I don't know where that picture is. I guess I didn't tweet it out.
But
Did
I
you see
bent my fucking grill. I bent my fucking black guard on my truck, bumping people out of being bogged down off the road so many times last day or so.
Now, did they
So
ask
you
for
just
this
went
bump?
around trying to just move people with his truck?
No. There was at least 3 cars I had to get out of being bogged down on the side of the road as they tried to drive off the road around a tree.
Did you
guys see
communicate with them that you were going to
I'm-
were going to do this, or did you?
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'll push you forward.
Oh, okay, I thought you just showed up. They were just like sitting there, and then there's
Like
Windsor
ramming
behind
speed.
them. Yeah.
On the topic of winter weather, did you see the Durham Academy weather announcement?
Yes, it was great.
It was awesome. Should we watch it on the show or?
Yes, because I haven't seen
Yes,
it.
I haven't seen
It's
it.
got Ice Baby on it. I don't know if we can roll that.
Oh,
damn it.
right. Stupid copyright. Yeah, I can't show
Ruining
it to
our
you.
fun and shit.
Yeah, just
Content ID.
Dude, fuck YouTube. Oh my
Where is
God.
that, by the way? Where is the content ID? I mean, it was supposed to happen. The whole monetization. You have to wait. That was supposed to happen in January.
I heard March
of 2014. Oh, damn it! I thought maybe I was holding out hope that like maybe it's happening and YouTube just implemented something that works and like I don't really notice it, but
Right. Yeah, YouTube's IT is so wonderful. Yeah, I don't know. I've been making a lot more Twitch content than YouTube content lately, and God, they're so much more friendly. I sit there and listen to music all stream long. Like it's casual. I feel like Twitch is on the side of the content producers, whereas YouTube, the content producers are their enemy, and they're constantly trying to like mold and change what they do. They don't let people decide what's good. They fuck with yours, and they're doing everything they can, like claim copyright in inappropriate places and stuff like that. And it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, it's a drag. It was a really cool thing, though. I like that a lot. That was pretty cool. I saw it
You can
last
play
night.
music on Twitch and get away with it?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! So my stream's about to get a lot better.
Yeah, dude. I played. I bought a Spotify subscription just for my stream, and they have playlists and stuff like pick me up mood playlist, so you can just pick a favorite artist and go through his greatest hits and stuff like that. And I don't know. I feel like it. Like, ever be silent for like 40 seconds in a stream, and you wonder like, are people liking this? Am I supposed to be more entertaining? Like, what's happening here? But when I have music playing, it sets a sort of happier mood. That's what I'm going for anyway. I will warn you. Anyone who doesn't like what you're listening to will tell you about it. That's the thing.
I would inform them where my dick is so they can suck it.
You're never shy about that.
It's
though.
located directly above my gigantic balls.
Right there, son. It gets held up, son. So much meat there.
We were talking before the show about the Killington trip. Do you want to talk about that, Nightmare?
We could do that, or we were just talking about dick and sucking, and do you want to talk about Total Biscuit?
Sure. Either way, you pick.
Yes, when I think of dick sucking, I think of Total Biscuit.
Yeah, that'll make more sense in context in a second here. All right, so I guess we'll do that. I'll set it up. I'm tempted to read this to them, but it's about a 2-minute read. Is that too long?
No,
It's like a
4-hour
show. Yeah.
All right, so hang in there.
Skip it, motherfuckers, if you're unhappy.
Hang in there. So to set this up, what happened was Total Biscuit has a subreddit. It's called Cynical Brit. And in there, people talk to him. It's a little bit like the PKA subreddit, I would guess. I don't really go to it very often. And this guy says that he leaves the thing and he basically doesn't... Okay, the community should be disappointed with him. I'm well-versed in his character, and his attitude and his exaggerated replies to perfectly valid discussion points show more immaturity and stubbornness. It reeks of a desperate YouTuber not being able to handle the spotlight, or a child singing la 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 in the face of arguments. Whichever analogy, it's void of any sort of criticism. And that's something I hear too. And they expect a certain level of professionalism, etc. Basically, it was a guy sort of asking for complete immunity about blasting his favorite YouTuber. And he writes back and says this. Right. See, this is what happens when I try and quietly remove myself from the situation. People just make it worse and worse and worse. There's no winning. So apparently I should have made a final post saying why I don't want to engage in this subreddit anymore. So here we go. People like you are the reason I dread talking to my audience on a daily basis. A long time ago, I used to love waking up, logging in, and seeing what the viewers are saying and replying to their comments. Doing the whole interaction thing. It was great, but that was a long time ago. Now, every time I post a Hearthstone video, did I pronounce that right? I get anxiety over the amount of horrible comments it will get. It keeps me awake at night. I barely play the game now because of it. I used to play it for a few hours a day. Now I only play it for videos. Maybe an hour or two a week at most. I guess I have associated with once a fun activity with constant complaining. Every time I make a mistake, I don't beat myself up about it because I made a mistake. I do it because I just gave people another avenue to complain and say things like, it was painful to watch, or it was cringeworthy. I've heard so much of it, I'm rolling in self-doubt, and the only reason I keep that series up is because it pays well. It used to be through passion for the game, but the audience has killed that. But it's not just that. It's when the audience stomps on my principles. I think that's what hurts the most. I made a career out of trying to protect my audience from bad purchases. It's hardly saintly. It's still just video games on the internet. But it's just a little light entertainment and info for you guys. This is my life. That's what I do every day. That's what I live for. It's a job I work 6 to 7 days a week I do because I believe what I'm doing is helping and it's making gaming better, even just a little bit. Ignoring your blatant misrepresentation for a second, when you say something like, it's not the devs' fault there's bugs, or you go after me because I don't support early access and I want to be a consumer-first, dev-second, that isn't just a debate point. You're attacking the principles that are at the core of my day-to-day life. This sounds really dramatic, but this is my life. This is all I do. I only exist to do this right now. I've read it so many times with their quote-unquote advice. Oh, you should get a thicker skin. You should ignore it. These people have no idea the volume of it or how constant it is. It never stops. It's day in, day out, 24/7, No end in sight noise. So many people talking at once. It's death by 1,000 cuts. That thick skin isn't invincible. Occasionally it buckles, and when it does, I tend to react badly. Not sure you actually understand how fucked up I am. My hair is going gray, not to mention it's falling out. My hair is gray at 29. Great, right? I'm pretty sure I have chronic health problems that I've made worse by the stress. I'm even worried one of them might be life-threatening, and I get really paranoid about it. I fucking eat because I'm sad or angry or whatever. I have days where this should be a dream job is something that I don't even want to think about doing. I'm seriously fucked in the head and have been for a very long time. I cannot stop reading feedback. I can't just leave comments. I gave my Twitter to my staff months ago, and to stop me from reading it. It actually worked, surprisingly. Turning off YouTube comments was great, and for a while the subreddit was small enough and friendly enough that I could actually handle dealing with it. Now I dread reading it every morning, and I can't stop myself. God, how many times I've tried to get better over the last few years. Every time it's fucking failed. Every time I hate myself for it. But do you know how much it hurts to read stuff like this? That I think my audience is irrelevant? That I live for my audience? That I think my audience is irrelevant? I live for my audience. I put myself on the line for my audience. Right now my livelihood is under threat because of what I needed to... because I said what I needed to be said to make my audience stay informed. I give everything I've got on a daily basis to try and make my audience happy. So imagine how I feel when they lash out at me. Yeah, you're right. I should handle it better, but I can't. I mentally cannot. I'm a mentally broken person who likely can never been fixed. I hate myself every time for that. Way more than you could ever hate me for the things that I say here. I kind of hope that some people would realize when I did that piece on Flappy Bird Dev that there was more than a bit of my own personal issues in there. When I asked people to understand what it was like to get a bunch of attention, you're not equipped to deal with that. Maybe a few people realize that that's my fault. I should have just come right out and said it. I'm in a bad place physically, emotionally, and mentally. I'm not equipped to deal with my audience right now, and frankly, I should have deleted my account weeks ago so I can try to recover and not have individual viewers bear the brunt of that process. You're not blameless, but you're not the root of the problem either. Understand what it is you do to the people you apparently like. Understand what it is you do to the people you apparently like. Everyone you like feels this way to a greater or lesser degree. Some people handle it better than others. I handle it terribly. I probably always will. It's the best I do what others in my position do and put a wall between the audience and myself to prevent further damage done to both. I've always been a believer that professionalism and worth speaks through your actions and not your words. I'm going to take away my words for a while and understand there's nothing to drown out my actions. Sorry if you expect a better person behind your daily videos. What you've got is a fucked up, sad, balding, overweight guy who is good at one thing and is lucky enough to do it for a living. I guess things were better when it was possible to maintain the illusion, but these days people demand unprecedented levels of access to the people they watch, and this is what it gets them. Sorry you don't like what you see behind the curtain.
That's incredible. From
it's spot on, dude. I read this thinking I could have wrote this. This is like my career in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's really really well written.
Yeah,
I gave my Twitter to Woody, and like he did his to his staff. Like,
yeah,
run from it.
You're gonna start liking my videos on that thing.
Go for it.
Start sending them over to my YouTube channel too. Yeah. Have you guys subscribed to youtube.com/lefty6? Lefty.
He's almost at 100,000 subscribers.
It's funny. There were parts in there where so you were talking about the Twitter and the feedback. For me, it was the part about the advice. Like I often say like, oh, this guy's a hater or that guy's a hater, and he put a part in there. He's like, you give me this advice, and of course, some people are giving advice. Some people, of course, couch it in this like, hey, I was thinking you could do this or you could do that, or I'd like to see more of something else from you. And, while what you really want to hear is I like what you just did, it's advice, and I can take it for what it's worth. But often people think that when they say, like, fuck you, I miss the old Woody, I want this, I want that, that's advice, and it's not. That's hate. That's what it really is. And I can see he's getting that, too, somewhere. I don't know. I just thought it was a really compelling read to see what he was going through.
I like how he talks about how the bad advice the bad comments outweigh the good ones, because you don't really miss the good ones because you're just running from the bad ones. And like, honestly, myself, I can feel like there's probably been 20 comments that made me feel good about myself in the entire tenure of my YouTube opportunity. But there's countless bad ones.
You know what I think it is? So when someone is positive, they usually go with a cliche. They usually say something like, "Great video, thanks for uploading it," or "Awesome video, I loved it." You know, it's a really short, quick to the point thing. That's basically cliche positivity. But when there's negativity, it's not cliche. It's not like meh, boring, or nah, wasn't really my style. It's like, look, motherfucker, so the problem is genetics. Let's just start at stage one. Your mother was a whore, and so you were the son of a whore, and that's
now, this is just my opinion, by the way. This is my opinion, okay? Yeah, it's criticism.
They'll write you a whole
You can't take criticism.
And I think that's why sometimes the negative outweighs the positive, because when people are positive, they don't write you a really in-depth paragraph that they sat down, thought about, and perhaps used a thesaurus for. But sometimes when there's a negative comment, it's clear that is the case. It's like
motherfuckers giving you an itemized bill of what you fucked up on.
Yeah, they're really spelling it out. It's like, this guy's been holding this in.
Here is line by line how fucked up you are, both personally and professionally, in what you do.
And the worst ones when they actually hit some of the nails on the head, and like you know you're fucking up on this, you just don't want people to see it.
Yeah, if they say something that you know you're lacking in, and especially when it's something you're lacking in and you can't explain why you're lacking in it, and you have a legitimate excuse, something like that. When they're like, "Why don't you make a video today?" and you're just like, "My mother's dying," and you don't want to say that. That's not a real thing. But
one of the things that the Total Biscuit said that stunk with me is, I want to find it again. Every time I make a mistake, I don't beat myself up because I made a mistake. I do it because I gave people another avenue to complain and say things like, "It was painful to watch." I've heard it so much that I'm rolling in self-doubt, and the only reason I keep that series up is because it pays well. That rolling in self-doubt thing, I'm like, man, like that was... I've said this so many times. I bet people can finish this for me. There are times when I truly am a honey badger, right? There are times when, to my core, I don't give a shit. I'm good to go, and I feel like that's the best version of me. There are other times where I've been called a money whore so many times. Like, I'll see somebody else, like a pro athlete, be like, "Yeah, I want to fight 5 times this year. I'm trying to make a lot of money." And I think, oh, they're going to figure out you didn't do this for the love of getting punched in the face. You can't say that, right?
Sorry.
As soon as your fans think that you're a professional fighter, I'm not talking about Lozon right now. It's actually a guy named Cowboy Cerrone. As soon as your fans figure out that you're a professional athlete because you make money, that they're gonna hate you. That should be for the love of the sport. Should be so pure. No, fuck. 99.9% of this world does their job because they need the money for it, right? That they don't just wake up and I would do this for free if I didn't have to.
Yeah. You trying to tell me the McDonald's guy is not taking my order because he wants to?
Yeah. The money whore thing is something I think about, and being good at video games. That's another thing. Look, I consider myself good at COD. I know there are many who are better. I'm probably top 10%, right? Just basing on where I finish in lobbies and stuff when I play. Probably not right now because I'm rusty. But if you were to play with me, you'd be like, dude, that guy got a lot of kills and a lot of caps, and he was a total asset to the team. Top 10% isn't that exclusive in a group when there's millions and millions of people playing, but I'm good at it. And anytime I were to admit that, it makes me like, whoa, I should wrap that in some sort of disclaimer so that people don't think I'm really that good, or that I don't think I'm totally that special, or the unexceptional thing needs to come out. Or I've played a lot of video games since I was a little kid. I'm a gamer, and they'll try to take that away. Oh, all you do is play COD. All you do is play that. Fuck you, man. Yeah, you're just wrong. And certain criticisms that I've heard about me a million times, I become I almost second guess saying anything that is going to give them an avenue to bring that up again.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
go ahead.
That's the beauty of the whole post of Total Biscuit, is that it runs the gambit of, or is it gamut?
I don't know. I think it's Gambit.
Gamut. Yeah, it's Gambit. I've always said Gambit. Oh, well.
I like the X-Men.
Right, and that's what I think of it. But no, it's a different. But anyway, it encompasses pretty much a lot of things that we've talked about on this show at one time or another. It covers just the sheer people not understanding the sheer volume of people saying things, because it's very easy to say get a thicker skin or handle criticism better, but when everybody with a computer or a mobile device and an internet or data connection is your critic and has an equal voice to everybody else, it could very easily get out of hand where everybody, just the sheer volume of criticism, it overrides any amount of thick skin. You know, Roger Ebert was at times very pointed and just eviscerating movies and actors and directors, but he was Roger Ebert. I mean, that's what he did. But what really gets to probably I'm assuming here, but it seems logical to me. What gets to people in show business is everybody on the internet or in forums or wherever having an equal voice and trying to be just as aggressive as they see Ebert being, and it just gets to be too much, because when Roger Ebert or you know, critics like that are crapping a movie, that's a little bit different than the critics and everybody else crapping the movie. So the people not understanding, well, okay, yeah, it's very easy to say, well, don't listen to the hate or don't listen to people saying negative things, or only focus on the positives. But you saying something negative, or you saying something positive, or you just trying to give advice, that's a singular experience for you. You don't understand, or you're not aware of that everybody, for me or us, it's everybody coming at you. It's a collective experience from the part of the person being criticized or being given advice to, whereas from the other side, it's just a singular experience. And then it gets into people, you know, talking about misrepresentations and people treating it as criticism, and everybody being hypercritical, and it's everything. You know, you go through Total Biscuit's post, and it's everything that we've talked about at one point or another, and it's just addressed so well.
The poor guy has like everything that Winsy's gone through, everything I've gone through, everyone's gone through, all wrapped up into one. So I don't, Total Biscuit, if you somehow catch this, stay strong, brother. We feel your pain, and he's a YouTube pro and veteran. He knows as well as we do that, you know, his strong moment, his honey badger phase, will come here in no time at all if it's not here already. So. Yeah, I don't know, but I just, it was such a compelling read.
We can, I mean, there's a big elephant in the room here that I don't think anybody's addressed, and I'll of course address it and get hate for it because because I know people are going to make that semantic argument. It's not really hate. Nobody has hate in their heart.
No,
well, of course, I'm not saying you actually hate me.
This is the self-doubt, right? This is the self-doubt. This is you, like, the people are going to hate me. Wait, I have to couch that. I have to disarm all the people who are about to say it's not hate, it's criticism or whatever. But carry on.
It's not self-doubt. I'm not doubting myself. I'm doubting you guys out there, because I know you're not going to understand what I'm saying 100% of the time, so I have to preface it with something.
Or so that you're trying to deflect away from my argument and make it about a semantic use of the word or a few words.
Yeah, you're trying to pull Wings Redemption.
That's right. You know, it's not really self-doubt. It's awareness of what comes next. You know, I just said I'm good at COD. Holy smokes, here comes the backlash. So you like try to disarm the backlash, you know, as you're talking, and that's what you just did. I caught it. Anyway, carry on.
But and of course I did it. But I think the big elephant in the room is criticism, and you know, what is criticism, what is constructive criticism, and what is just you being an aggressive asshole and caustic to somebody you apparently like. And I think Total Biscuit, he danced around this point a little bit, but he didn't really dive right in. But so I'll say it. Your criticism, number one, isn't always constructive. There is constructive criticism, and there's non-constructive criticism, which is just criticism. But a lot of things that are said to be constructive criticism aren't actually constructive. They're just not. They're criticisms. And okay, but don't tell me you're being constructive, and don't try to hide behind that shroud and say, "Oh, look at me, I'm wearing the badge of constructive criticism." So you are even more of an asshole if you don't acquiesce to everything I say because I'm being constructive. And also, criticism from people, and I'm talking to whomever may think themselves a critic, and myself included, because I criticize things a lot. Your criticism is not infallible. It's not infallible. All right? I can criticize anything you do, and my criticism can be, there was not enough George Washington in this. Because I like George Washington a lot. I really love George Washington.
The first president?
Book, yes. Your book, your video, your movie, your whatever didn't have enough George Washington in it, and that's bullshit. And that's a valid criticism from my perspective. But it's not infallible, because obviously it's bullshit, because, well, it wasn't about George Washington or anything like that. Now, of course, that's an extreme example, but there are a lot of criticisms that get thrown at people and thrown back and forth. That's just not. It's not infallible. You are not. Your criticism, just because it is criticism, isn't immune from response. It isn't immune from critique itself. I can't just say, just because I respond to a criticism that I believe to be, or anybody responds to a criticism that I believe to be off base or just flat out wrong, like if somebody said there wasn't enough George Washington in your video, I can say, well, it wasn't about George Washington. And the response to that, I've found, there's a lot of, oh, see, look, you can't take criticism because you responded. It said, well, no, your criticism is not infallible. The guy that Total Biscuit was responding to completely misrepresented what Biscuit was doing and what Total Biscuit tries to do and how he approaches things. And he kind of danced around you misrepresented my point in what I do, but there's a whole lot of that. I have something to say, it's my opinion, and that's another thing. People, well, it's just my opinion. At some point, you can't hide behind the title of critic or the shield of opinion or constructive criticism. And your criticism can be wrong. Your opinion can be wrong, and that's okay. It's okay, but you have to accept it. I have to accept it.
Let me say something about criticism. If you're going to criticize me, include an and. I don't like this, and this is how you can make it better. At least give me some sort of idea or avenue you'd like to see me go towards, so I at least have ideas that I can use the constructive criticism about. If you go, oh, this video sucks, it has poor quality, that tells me nothing. If you go, this video sucks, it has poor quality, you should maybe try this, that at least helps me figure out what you have wrong with the video or what you didn't like. Even if what you're saying is incorrect, other people will let you know, and I'll read other people's comments, and I'll eventually will see a way to improve the video through your criticism other than just giving criticism that's worthless.
I try not to read the comments because I know the age of it. I would like to see this information. I want to see what the age of the average commenter is. So I know what the age of the viewers are, but I want to know how old this guy is, because sometimes you see that meme.
I need to know his age, his socioeconomic rank. I'd like to know his dating history. I want to know this person's lifelong scorecard so that I can properly put his comment into perspective, right?
I think you could.
That would fuck me up. I'd be like, so Brad.
If you subscribe to one of those websites that you basically put somebody's name in and it gives you all their background information and everything, then you could go off their Google Plus, and then you could reply back and be like, listen, Robert, I know you've been living with your grandma for the last 5 years after you got caught stealing all those TVs from Home Depot, from Best Buy, but that would be good. Then you have all their information.
There are times when, maybe I'll read a comment and take it to heart, whereas, if I were to meet that same person in real life, I would more easily dismiss them, and I want that, background. That to their
So how
comment.
could we do this in a YouTube sense? Could we have comment gold next to people's names?
Well, you got Google Plus. You got it already.
Oh yeah, we could go in there and. All right,
yeah, but I don't even fill my own Google Plus out. Who's to say a random?
I didn't either, man. I went into my own Google Plus the other day for the first time, and I was like, "Whoa, there's a whole place in here with people and gatherings, and people are talking about stuff in here. This is weird." I'm out. I'm not gonna do it. No, fuck Google Plus. I'm not doing that.
I'm just saying, like, what's an easy way to do it that's convenient? Like maybe have like comment gold or something. Like people show how many thumbs up you've got this year. But then people would abuse that system.
That's what the internet needs is more fake internet points.
Yeah, right.
I have another
more
topic
shit for people to take.
Did you guys hear about the kid from Texas who got sent to jail?
What did he do?
think so. Remind me. I'm gonna know it as soon as you say it. He did something very silly.
He's a
Like,
douchebag. He's an internet douchebag who's in jail right now.
Yes, the Facebook guy, right?
Yeah, the Facebook guy. Oh, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
Hold up. But we got an article here.
It's
Yeah, I
like
didn't
4
know.
pages long, but let me sum it up for you. So, this guy's on Facebook, and he's like, I'm so fucked up in the head, I'm going to go to a school, and I'm going to shoot all the kids in it, or something like that. And then
Yeah, there was something like there will be blood. There will be blood
there will be
everywhere.
blood. And they look at through his Facebook history, and it's full of him telling people to off themselves and drink bleach and stuff like. I'm like, drink bleach, dude. That's a total internet asshole comment that's used all the time, right? Like, have you ever been told to drink bleach?
Would he happen to be subscribed to my channel?
Makes your tongue numb. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Yeah, this guy, you can see he had like a regular habit of being an internet douchebag. And but the thing about going into schools and shooting it up and such gathered attention. So somebody made an anonymous tip and told the people, like from Canada, I think the tip came, and they told the people in Texas that this guy says he's going to go and shoot up a school. So they looked into him, and apparently he lives right by an elementary school. So they're like, oh, this is kind of sketchy. And his criminal history was completely clean, except he had an ex-girlfriend who took out a restraining order on him and said that he was stalking her. And his response to it was like, oh, this is ridiculous. She's holding out a restraining. I'm not even going to fight it. I'm going to say, give me one too against her. So they had some silly breakup, and she felt like she was either she felt like she was in danger, or she felt like this was one more way to get at him and take out a restraining order as a way to twist the knife. So he gets put in jail, and
4 months, right?
What's that?
4 months, I believe.
Yeah,
he was in. Right?
He's been in there for multiple months. I don't remember if it was 2 or 4. We'll call it 4. And they say that he's having, quote unquote, a very rough time in jail. Fuck you.
Oh,
Wait, is this the guy? Is this the guy that was? He said like, it was like and just a completely random post. It had to do with like World of Warcraft or something. Was this that kid?
He's a League of Legends player.
League of Legends. Yeah.
League of Legends. Oh, but he hasn't been. He's been denied access to an attorney. He hasn't been charged with anything.
Oh, you and your legal bullshit.
You can't do that.
Wait a minute.
No, you can't do
I'm
that.
Team Lefty now. I'm switching to Lefty side.
No.
You can't do that. I don't care what kind of internet asshole you are.
I didn't know the other part.
Charge him with something.
You do realize he was a douchebag, right?
Of course he's a
but
douchebag.
but
Lots
that
of
ain't
people
how
are
the system
douchebags.
works.
No, I'm
I
joking.
mean-
But he apparently he had a public defender assigned to him, and the
Happened to
public
be the
defender.
judge's brother.
What's that?
I said happened to be the judge's brother. I don't know. This is made up.
The public defender, apparently all he really did in terms of lawyering was ask the prosecution for like a deal or terms or something like all right, you charged him with this. What do what's your deal going to be? And now he has a better or a more interested attorney working pro bono, and he's getting some better representation, and I guess it's made the news enough that we're talking about it and such. So he has an attorney now. The police said something like, I guess they asked him to waive his right to an attorney, and it's possible that an attorney was assigned to him, like a public defender had been assigned to him, and his current attorney is saying it's immoral and it's wrong and unethical for them to ask him to waive his right to an attorney after one's assigned, that he shouldn't be talking to this guy even though he has an attorney. I think the kid's 18, right?
Is this seriously the League of Legends player?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is the League of Legends guy.
So I thought these were two separate cases. Because League of Legends players like, I'm going to eat the hearts of elementary school kids.
That's
and shit
the
like
one.
that.
That's him. Yeah.
That wasn't even any kind of a threat. like what he said. If I remember correctly, what he said, it wasn't anything that could reasonably constitute a threat in the legal sense. I understand it to be because it wasn't like I'm gonna go to Jefferson Elementary with my .45 caliber and go to room 208 and start blasting away. He was like, I'm gonna eat all the hearts.
It was general.
Yeah, and that's not a threat of it.
That's like me saying I'm gonna bomb Italy or something like that.
Yeah, and on top of that, you can't just hold him and charge him with a crime, no matter what he did. At that point, I am not on your side. They do that all the time with, like, those hackers and shit. And whatever, they've committed crimes, okay, but when you don't charge them with something and you just hold them without charging them with a crime, I cannot co-sign that. I don't care what they did. I don't care at that point. You have to charge them with a crime. You can't just hold them and deny them access to an attorney. Whatever they did, I'm immediately on their side when the government charge him with anything. Charge this kid with anything. He'll cop to it. He will. You could charge him with killing JFK and he'd be like, yeah, I did it. Okay.
What he's charged with, he said, I'm fucked up in the head right now. I'm going to shoot up a kindergarten. And then he said, and watch the blood of the innocent rain down. And someone replied, I hope you fucking bring in hell, you fucking prick. I guess she means burn in hell. And he replied,
what law is that?
And eat the beating heart of one of them. What's that?
I mean, but what charge is that, though? That mean, I understand that's a terroristic threat, but what is that considered in, like, statutes?
Oh, I don't know what statute he violated, but apparently it's some sort of, like, let me see if I can see what they charged him with.
Because if they can charge you with that bullshit, dude, that's that's censorship at its highest maximum amount.
No, he can't say that stuff. I don't like him saying that stuff. I don't want anybody out there saying they're going to shoot up a school.
It's a third-degree terroristic threat, which I guess is the lowest terroristic threat you can make.
Is that some new shit that came around in 2001?
All right, we're PKA. Let's make our own law. What do you think that a random guy who's 18 years old who goes on the internet and says, I'm going to shoot up a kindergarten with my gun, I'm going to eat hearts, there will be blood everywhere and shit like that. What does that guy get?
And telling people to drink bleach I would say douchebaggery of a first-degree douchebaggery, and he's guilty. He should get public caning.
Ooh, I like that. I like the public canings.
Yeah. So he doesn't necessarily have to spend 4 months getting ass raped in a Texas prison on the border or whatever he's dealing with right now. But a nice public caning will do him good.
I like that. I can go with the public caning.
I don't understand what it's not me being against cops. I just don't understand what would be appropriate to punish him with at this point, because I see it as baseless. Like, I see everything he says.
At this point, I'd let him go because he's been getting his ass kicked in jail for 4 fucking months.
Who knows what happening to his ass in jail
the last 4 months? That's like Lefty being like, I got a nuclear weapon. Lefty don't got a nuclear weapon.
Wings, this guy tells people to drink bleach over the internet. This guy is every douchebag that writes to you and calls you fat on your YouTube comments. What is he guilty of, and what's an appropriate punishment?
Oh, man.
I don't. What I've always heard about the raping in jail was, but you have that experience about the rape, where like the guards told you about the rape that happened. But I always see in like documentaries and stuff when people describe their prison experience is like they don't have to rape anyone because there's guys in there who want to have sex with you. So like it's not necessary to forcibly rape someone. You can just get a boyfriend basically.
Yeah, I think that some guys turn gay in the total absence of women.
Of course, I think that's a really rare thing. I think
they might be.
A really common thing.
Yeah, and gay. I don't know. Maybe I'm not going for gay here. They turn not even bisexual. Yeah, it's
they're
like
opportunistic cocksuckers.
I'm like, well, I'd like to get my dick sucked, but
I just think I don't think they even prefer men. I think that they lower their standards for men to the point where men reach it because that's the only thing that's around.
Have you seen The Sopranos when they discuss this?
Oh yeah, Tony's like, you get a pass for that.
And she's like, you get a pass for that, but not if it's on the outside. And he's like, what? There's no women in there.
Yeah, it was great. Who are they talking about? It was when Vito was gay.
Yeah,
right?
it was when
he ran
Vito was
away.
blowing the guy on the construction site. And the thing about it was this real macho bullshit where like that they're all discussing this thing. Do we need to kill Vito because he's gay? And they were like, guys in the can do this and that, and they were like, I don't know what to think about this. And then somebody was like, and then it came out that Vito was the one giving the blowjob, not receiving the blowjob. And then it was like, oh fuck, now it's really bad. He's the bottom. And in the end, something horrible happened to Vito. Watch Sopranos on HBO Go. It's a good show.
Yeah. There was a good arc, that whole arc where he went to Vermont. I love that part. Where
I
he was,
love
like,
that too.
Hey, Sopranos. It might be on Netflix.
It's not on Netflix.
Might be.
I guarantee it. You'll have a better chance of using that 3-month code from Freddie W. than you will watching.
Oh, it's not really a 3-month code. You're misleading.
I know. We talked about it last time. It's not a 3-month code.
It's the same code. So Netflix.com/Woody.
Netflix.com.
Someday it'll have all the content.
I hope so.
Unless the new Comcast Time Warner conglomerate blocks streaming
Don't
to
you hate that?
Netflix because they're not getting a.
Verizon.
Why does the government even allow that? That seems like one of those times where they're like, whoa, this
now
doesn't
who's
look
Mr.
right.
Big Government, Captain Republican?
You can't allow monopolies to form though.
Republicans love monopolies.
I don't love monopolies, and I'm not a Republican. It's
You
bad
always
for
seem pretty
business.
Republican.
Walks like a duck
No,
and quacks like a duck.
I am conservative. I am fiscally conservative. I am
You
I am
vote
more
Republican.
liberal when it depends. It really depends on the candidate and what their views are. I don't understand, and I see it a lot. I don't understand why the same people who shake their fists in the air and say, I don't want the government involved in my life. I don't want you telling me I can't have a gun. I don't want you telling me I can't have this, that, and the other. But at the same time, they're like, whoa, get in these people's bedrooms over there. They're doing stuff we don't like. That doesn't make any
That's weird,
sense to me.
huh? A little weird how that.
It's fucking stupid. It's the
You know,
Republican.
I have this idea in my head that in the very beginning there were a pile of issues, right? A disorganized pile of issues. And the blue and the red team just went and grabbed everyone they could, We'll be the smoking party. We'll be the internet party. We'll be the gay party. We'll be the abortion. We'll be the anti-abortion party and the pro capital punishment party. And
the pro-gun party.
And the pro-gun party. And it's just if you sit back, I'm I don't even know how these things got divided up like they did because they don't follow any kind of consistent pattern.
You know how they make it all work in their heads? Because they've got them. They've got all these different jigsaw puzzle pieces. They're like, okay, well, we're anti-abortion, but we're pro-capital punishment. Shit. And we're pro-gun. All right. But we're anti-gay. All right. Well, how do we make that all fit together?
Yeah,
Ah,
we're
shit,
anti-gay,
shit,
but
shit.
we're small
It's
Oh,
government.
God.
contradictory.
Here's this. It's this universal key. Religion. Yeah. Bam. It all fits. Woo. Yes.
One thing I never understood: how can you be anti-abortion, but then hate that shit like welfare and food stamps at the same fucking breath?
Mm.
I mean, let me say, I'm going to do
Freakonomics.
everything in my power to keep this baby alive, but I'm not going to give it food stamps, WIC, or any of that kind of services.
George Carlin had a great one-liner. It said, "If you're pre-born, you're fine. If you're pre-born or if you're preschool, you're fucked." In the eyes of Republican, because when you're a fetus, they're like, "Oh, you protect that rights, protect those rights." Okay, well now it's born. I can't afford it.
You know what I fucking hate about this? I hate people that use the lazy people as an alternative here. Lazy people get welfare and food stamps and shit. Hell no, I know Walmart people that get food stamps. I know people that got jobs got food stamps because they don't make a fucking enough.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not just the lazy people that benefit from these government aid programs, dude.
It's the huge corporations. When Walmart and McDonald's have in their employee handbooks and on the websites for employees where they say, "Hey, here's how you can apply for food stamps."
In your career as a McDonald's employee.
On the bright side, though, we're seeing a resurgence in states' rights across the board. I feel like whether it's gun control issues, whether it's marijuana issues, across the board, we're seeing a lot of states' rights being exercised and flexed, and the federal government, for the most part, seems to either be co-signing or allowing these things to happen. So it's a bright future, perhaps,
Yeah, that's
full
good.
of guns and marijuana.
but shitty internet. Guns, marijuana, but bad internet.
You know what?
Shitty internet.
I think it's happening via states' rights, but I think that it's happening because the population shift, right? It almost seems like politically, if we could just get 20 years ahead of where we are now, all the people voting against the sorts of things that we're in favor of, they'll die.
Yeah.
The people who hate gay people, they're 65 right now. They're not making it to 85. The people who hate legalization of pot right now, they're 65. They're not making it to 85. Because this group is dying off, who opposed it for so long. Now it's like this batch of 40 to 50-year-olds running the world right now are like, a little more open-minded. Mm-hmm. It's me. It's the WoodyGamertags of the world who are in charge right now. It's fucking ridiculous.
I guarantee you,
So Woody's Gamertag, the lowest police states.
I guarantee you, in
that's
10
not
or
true.
15 years, you'll be able to go into 80-90% of the states in the United States, and you'll be able to marry you'll be able to marry another man while stoned off your ass, and then fire your machine gun into the air to celebrate.
I was with you until you added machine to that gun.
But they're less effective.
I do, but they don't.
Scare easy.
Okay, well, you've got a slide fire then.
All right. For some reason, they're fine. I don't know why.
Yeah.
We live in a country that you can't carry a 12-inch knife, but you can carry a 45.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff. Some permits carry deadly weapons and not just firearms. I think one of mine in particular just covers like dangerous and deadly weapons. So like I don't know, that allows me to conceal like a billy club or a switchblade.
I got a question. You might have more experience than me. This kind of like if you want to carry a machete around, how do you do that? Like say you want to keep a machete in your toolbox in case shit goes down. How do you do that legally?
Look, I've never seen, and I'm not a big fan of law enforcement for the most part, but I've never seen a cop fuck with you about a blade in your vehicle. Now, if you're one of those guys who's like, I'm gonna test my constitutional rights, I'm gonna go flex my constitutional muscles, I'm gonna grab my AR-15 and my machete and go into Walmart. You may run into some static there, but I just can't imagine.
It's always tack on, dude. It's never what they fuck with you about. But if they can't find nothing and they see, and maybe you have a machete in the bed of your truck and like, oh, what is this? Concealed weapon.
No, I don't think nobody's ever done that to you though. What I could see was maybe there's a situation where you catch a guy with like drugs and maybe a couple other illegal things, and also he's got a suspended license, and you're like, oh, and a machete, and you just go ahead and hit him with a laundry list. But nobody's gonna say, well, you seem to be checked out all right here, Mr. Jordy, but
machete is an American concern. Like I don't know if you guys have been to South America or anything, but like if you go anywhere where there is a rainforest, they don't consider machetes to be weapons, like any more than hedge clippers. Like I went to the Dominican Republic. I was talking to my surfing guide, and he's like, "Oh, you know what I think when I hear machete? Lawn work." And it's just like, we think it's some sort of amazing like super
Short
weapon
sword.
or short sword. Yeah. To him, it's like yard work. That's how I beat back the gigantic leaves that grow over the fence.
Have any of you seen the movie Machete?
No, I've seen the ads for it.
Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, so the first Machete movie is really corny and it makes fun of itself, and I watched it, and while I didn't think it was a great movie, I was entertained, and I took it for what it is. The second one is so fucking bad it's unwatchable. Like I watched the whole thing just to see where this whole thing was going. It is such shit. It is such shit.
What did you think they were gonna do?
So Machete 2, is it on Netflix?
No.
No,
it's
answer
not.
is it might be.
I paid $5 for the privilege to watch Machete 2, and I mostly wanted to see it because Lady Gaga was in it, and I thought maybe we get some nudity out of her. That did not happen.
I've seen her nude.
I have as well.
Yeah.
Cuba
seen the
Gooding Jr.
penis?
is in there. No, she does not have a penis.
She does not.
She actually has an attractive vagina as well.
Wait, where have you seen this?
She posted some nude yoga videos. She's, not
Really?
videos, but images. I don't think it was a video. Might have been a video. Yeah, it was a video.
I saw
yeah.
a GIF. That's what I saw.
Yeah, there's some nude yoga gifs of Lady Gaga. Her face is one of those faces that's just not very attractive unless it's got lots of makeup on, and then I find her to be pretty attractive when she's all made up. But she's got a great body.
I found her to have an ordinary fit body, right? Like,
False.
Really?
False. So she hurt her knee, I want to say, really badly in a tour like a year and a half ago, and she couldn't work out for a long time. And she got like a gross kind of her ass started not looking so great. Her thighs started not looking so great, and her midsection as well. Right now, she's in great shape. She's very short though.
Yeah, see, I couldn't swing that. Now, speaking of celebrities posting odd naked stuff, I saw
Gaga
Joe
bears
Rogan
off
had
on
on
a
his podcast yesterday. This guy we talked about, what's it? Oh, he's an MMA fighter. He calls himself War Machine.
Yeah, I know War Machine. Well, I don't know him personally. I don't mean to mislead.
And so Joe Rogan mentioned him. And I'm like, oh, I know that guy because we talked about him on PKA, and I forget the context that we talked about him in, but I remember it's like he's like a psycho.
4chan got him so pissed off that he actually punched himself to give himself a black eye.
That was it.
Yeah.
And so I go to his Twitter feed, and the first picture got to the Joe Rogan studios early, so and he mentioned like apparently his wife or girlfriend or something, give me a blow, and there was a picture of him getting a blowjob in his car. And then I go through the rest of his Twitter feed, and it's pictures of him like responding to trolls with pictures of him having sex with his girlfriend, and then
I like him.
And he's got like a grenade tattoo on his neck and stuff. And it's just like, wow, man, you're living the life, bro. Calling himself War Machine.
So
Speaking of
War Machine's the sort of guy that I don't want as my neighbor, but I definitely want on my TV. He is a character in this world that I am amused by, and that's where I am. I don't think we'd make good neighbors, but man, he's over the top, wild, funny, irrational, irritable. He makes me laugh.
And then I go over to the Joe Rogan podcast stream because it was live, and then he's talking about like morality and law and how society is so strict now. If you take somebody from a lawful man, and that's his words, and he's like from the 1930s, he would get arrested today because there's so much more that's illegal now that you can't do. I'm like, wow, what is this? This guy, I thought this guy was he's got many layers to him. He's a psycho who likes to have sex with his tattooed girlfriend and snakes. Apparently, they like snakes.
I think his girlfriend's a porn star.
I know his girlfriend.
Your girlfriend's Christy Mack, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Speaking of nude celebrities, did you guys see Scarlett Johansson's nude photos?
Link.
That was a while ago, wasn't
We
it?
need to do some market
Yeah,
research.
it's been a while, but I only discovered them semi-recently on.
I just feel like I
Reddit.
can't properly discuss this topic without images.
Yeah, throw in the keyword leaked, and you should have.
Be
It's
sure
like
to Control Shift N that, Woody.
Just some cell phone selfies in her, in her room somewhere. It's looking very nice.
Do women do that a lot?
Yes.
Where it's
This
like
is the bitch from Home Alone 3.
What? Oh God, I never saw it. If it didn't
She was in
have
Home Alone 3?
Yeah, she was in Home Alone 3, but she
I
was
didn't watch it.
15.
Macaulay Culkin got paid like $100,000 for the first one, and for the second one he got like a shitload of money. It was many millions of dollars.
Which he promptly smoked up.
I don't know. I don't know what he did with his money. I saw a YouTube video that was like 4 minutes the other day that was him eating a slice of pizza.
I can tell you one thing he did with his money. He doesn't have it no more.
Are you sure he's broke?
No, he's got like a band and stuff now, doesn't he?
I'm sure he has some money to his name, but I'm sure it's not over $1 million.
I don't know, man. I bet he still gets royalties from that thing. From
What the
Home
fuck
Alone
is getting
stuff.
Home Alone royalties? Let's see. How much?
Dude.
I ain't know how to spell it. Yeah, right there. It's Macaulay Culkin. How much is he worth?
Oh, because that's
It
That'll
says
give
he's
you-
worth $15 million. How the fuck is he worth $15 million?
See,
He
I
got
told
that
you.
Home Alone money. That's
He got
one of
that
those
My
things
Girl
that-
money too. I forgot about My Girl
Depending on how your contract is written,
and
out,
Uncle Buck.
he may have one of those deals where, like, you know, for the rest of his life, he's getting a check. I read that thing on Reddit the other day about Michael Jordan that said he got fined $5,000 every time he wore Air Jordans when he played in the NBA, and now he makes, I think, $50 million a year from those royalties from the sneakers.
Mhm.
Definitely
Alright.
worth the $5,000 a game.
So it even breaks it down. He got 40 grand for Uncle Buck. He got 100 grand for Home Alone, $1 million for My Girl, 4.5 million for Home Alone 2,
There you go.
1.5 for The Good Son, 8 million for Getting Even with Dad, and 8 million for Richie Rich.
$8 million for Richie
$8
Rich.
million for Richie Rich. I mean, I
Yeah.
liked that movie, but it wasn't that good.
No, that was not. Somebody fucked
So
up.
apparently he's only blown through about $8.5 million in his life.
Good for Macaulay Culkin, that weird-looking troll-like person. who
Yeah,
used
I
to be a
know.
child star. He's soured. I feel sorry for that guy. Some kid stars are kid stars, but kid stars are generally kind of unique looking. You're like, oh, that's such a cute kid. Like the kid from Jerry Maguire with the big cheeks and the weird eyes. You grow that kid up, and he looks kind of fugly.
Or the child star goes crazy like Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, or you take somebody like Natalie Portman, and you know, you're like, oh, she's going to be hot as fuck.
Shia LaBeouf ruined the last Indiana Jones film.
Shia
No,
LaBeouf.
no. The last Indiana Jones film ruined the last.
It was a
So-
good
Yeah.
movie without the kid
No, it
thing.
wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Natalie Portman and Miley Cyrus. I totally understood the countdown till 18 years old when you're officially allowed to lust after them.
Lindsay Lohan as well.
Lindsay Lohan. Olsen twins I didn't get. Never
Olsen
understood
twins?
why people.
No, they're not that hot.
yeah,
no,
they're billionaires, which totally increases a couple points on the 1 to 10 scale.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
But, but yeah, they're not that
Yeah,
hot.
I don't find the Olsen twins to be very attractive, and I've seen a lot of photos of them, and I even saw a photo the other day on Reddit where they were like trying to put her in with all these other attractive starlets. Not even close. She's real. Those girls are odd looking. They're attractive, but they're odd looking. They're not beautiful, and they're super fucking skinny, which is gross.
I just think Miley has a bad tooth to gum ratio.
I think Miley.
Crooked
I
thumbs,
would let
but not
Miley
bang.
Cyrus bite one of my testicles off with those teeth. She could have it if I could then be with her.
Really, you'd take the crazy?
Oh,
I don't think she's
absolutely.
crazy. I think she's like strategically planning out a career that keeps her in the spotlight.
Yeah, man, I don't think she's crazy. I think she's crazy rich.
I think the Hannah Montana bullshit she couldn't stand, but it was making her money. But she wanted to make some more money.
Okay.
I think I watched an interview with her and Barbara Walters, and her whole thing seemed pretty calculated. Like, she just seems to know, like, if I twerk, if I stick my tongue out, I get this kind of reaction and this kind of attention, and it's a business.
Yeah, I think she's just doing what makes the fans scream, you know? I don't think
Yeah,
there's anything
yeah,
wrong
yeah.
with it. Nothing different than what Elvis was doing forever up there, like, you know, dancing and playing to the beat.
Exactly. She's a money whore.
Yeah,
Yep.
money whore, exactly. Like, if she was still Hannah Montana, would we be talking about her right now? Fuck no.
Yeah, I'd talk about Hannah Montana.
I can't believe you don't find her attractive, Lefty?
I didn't say she was attractive. I said she had a bad tooth to gum ratio.
Or is it just too crazy?
No, it's not the. I just don't. I
Britney
just see her-
Spears was crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, she went nuts, but I just don't. I don't know. I just look at him like. I mean, I can understand why other people find her incredibly attractive, but I'm like, okay, well, yeah, you're good looking, I guess, but I'm not floored by
Yeah.
it.
I was never that impressed by Britney Spears. I felt Woody brings this up a lot about how there's you can take any starlet and go to your local university and there's dozens of them that are just as hot or hotter.
Right.
And Britney Spears was always one of those for me. It was like I went to high school with a girl hotter than Britney Spears. Like she's okay. She's got but most of her's fake. She's got ass implants. She's got breast implants. She's had plastic surgery and she's got a team of people who make her look pretty. And for all of that to be true, she's not that good looking.
I think you nailed it. Yeah, yeah, and especially and it might be my age coming through. I don't know. I mentioned it like a couple times in the show. Self doubt. Fuck you all. People made me think self doubt. Anyway, I start to think of beauty as a thing that's not that rare, right? Like it's like at every high school there's probably 6 girls who are every bit as hot as Scarlett Johansson. And
I was in the bushes at my old high school a couple days ago.
Right?
At least 3 girls that hot.
I know. People always hit me with the pedophile charge, and it's bullshit. So what I've started to do is pull out my flaccid penis to show them that I'm not aroused by their presence.
And that seems to work.
Oh,
It
yeah.
seems
So
I haven't heard it in a while.
Kids, totally not hard right now. Check it out. Just flopping around. Not even engaged right now. I could even stroke it a little. Nothing would happen. See what I'm doing right here? Really going at it right now. Looks like I'm hurting myself. Don't worry.
For those you wondering, there's a cop that got away with the same argument, saying giving the kids sexual advice.
You got to be really careful about that stuff. That's one of the reasons
I would
why
never.
you have to stay away from kids in general. If you're a grown ass man, you can't be around kids. I'm watching Nip Tuck right now. I don't know if any of you have watched this, but I'm not going to talk about Nip Tuck or anything. It's a decent show, but it's not.
Is it on
top tier or
Netflix?
anything. It is.
Yeah!
Go check it out.
Netflix.com/Woody. Watch it for free.
It's one of those FX series where they push the boundaries. They say shit. They show asses. They show a lot. They show every bit of the breast except for the nipple. It's a little edgy. It's pretty edgy. There's rape and lots of crazy stuff. But one of the situations is that one of the main characters, who is 40 years old, it's his ex-wife's girlfriend's daughter. It's a little convoluted, but basically he has an 18-year-old girl who's kind of in his life right now, who is so fucking hot it burns my skin to watch the television. And I'm just watching that and watching him struggle with that and thinking like, yeah, man, you got to just remove yourself from those types of situations. You can't be around girls like that. It's just not good. It's not good. Back in the 30s, it was all good, like Lefty said, but not anymore. Not anymore.
Yeah, in the 30s, you could be around kids. You could be, full staff all the time. Didn't matter. They did not care. They were like, yeah.
Hey, kids, look at this. Oh, Mr. Johnson always pulling it out for the kids.
It was crazy times, that Depression. But
So I
yeah.
think we agreed a long time ago that going back in time, I think what we agreed was that present time was the best time. Like, I think the days we're living in right now are the best times for humans to be living in.
Yeah,
Does everybody
about that same bull. Dude, my lights just went out. I went back in time. The shit sucks.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you had a propane burner going
God,
in
we'll go
your
to that
living
next.
room.
That's what we
let's
talked
start
about. I'm like, how
Please, let's go to that next.
How fucked up would it be to live on the prairie and this was the everyday life? You had a fucking fire and you just had to look
It
at
was
each
a fight
other.
to survive. What if it was a fight to survive every day, where your daily activities weren't, chores or errands? They were like, I got to go out tomorrow and do this, or
I better
I'm gonna
get me
starve
a
in the
buck
winter.
tomorrow. We're gonna starve to death.
Yeah. So what older time period would you guys want to go back to, and why? Like what? I guess what I'm asking is, what do you see in an older time period, like back in the 30s? Like maybe you're like, I like the way they dressed. What segment of a past time period do you appreciate and do you think would be better?
Not a damn thing, because the only thing I can think of is pussy, and I can get pussy in this time period.
All you gotta do is move some furniture. I like the way they dressed in the 40s and 50s. I like top hats and stuff, but I would
Wait,
like
you
to
think they wore top hats in the 50s? And
Fedoras. Back in the day, when you
fedoras.
could wear a fedora and not be a douchebag.
oh, that's a
When
top
you
hat
wore-
is that tuxedo.
Oh,
hat,
sorry, yeah,
like-
a fedora. I meant.
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you talking about, Lincoln?
No. I meant the fedora. I'm sorry.
We'll store your papers up there.
Yeah, maybe. And you know what? A top hat once in a while is okay. Not all the time, but
I would
once in a
rock
while.
a top hat.
Yeah, if you go to, if it's like a costume party or something like that, or it's like a little over the top black tie, you can get away with the top hat, right? I mean, you don't show up at a black tie event for like your business, like, hey, look at my top hat. But if it's like, hey, it's it's a black tie party and everybody's gonna get drunk, well, you show up in a goddamn top hat. But I'd really like to explore. I think the Renaissance would be really cool.
Ooh, yeah.
Because everybody was everything. Like, I'm a painter, and I'm a mathematician, and I'm a doctor, and I'm an inventor, and I do all
But
these
at the
things.
same time, you'd have to go to the barber to get your teeth pulled. I'd much rather have my cell phone. Fuck you.
Well,
I
but
would
I'm assuming
never
in
go
this
to the
I'm
barber
assuming in this
because I-
hypothetical time travel scenario, Wings, that I get to transport my current self back to the Renaissance and just tool around and then come back.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so where are you going to charge your iPhone at?
Okay, I'm in the damn Renaissance, dude. I have time travel. It doesn't matter that I have phone reception. I'm going
Yeah, he'll
around.
bring a
If
spare
his
battery.
phone was charged, he wouldn't have anyone to call anyway.
Right, unless it's like that. What's that one sci-fi movie where the guy can talk to his father through the CB radio?
Oh,
when
that's
the
good. Is
Aurora
that Kevin?
Borealis shows
Yeah,
up?
yeah. Is that like Kevin Costner, maybe?
Oh, I know that one.
It's
yeah.
it's
Frequency?
Dennis Quaid. Right, yeah, I think it's
Frequency, right?
Frequency and Dennis
Yeah.
Quaid.
What a shitty. I guess that's just not possible. Like now, we're not gonna get into that. Let's talk about Wings almost killing himself yesterday.
I didn't almost kill myself.
Are we done with
Hold
the time
fuck
period
up.
thing? That's okay.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I want to hear everybody else's answer.
Yeah. Everybody else's answer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I could go either way.
Kyle and Woody's left.
Wings, did you go? You said never. You just said you refused to leave.
I said all the other time periods. Only thing would send me back there was pussy. You know, girls looking a certain way.
I want
But
to go
could get pussy
all the
here.
way back. I want to if I were to visit a place, I think I'd want to be with nomadic cavemen. Like I think I want to check out that scene, where they're barely speaking. Because I'd be a goddamn god, right? Like, they'd come to me with their problems and be like, Woody, we have a pile of fruit and we don't know how to distribute them evenly because we can't count yet. I'd be like, dude, I got this shit on lockdown. You just take the pile and separate them one by one. You don't even have to count. They'd come to me. I'd invent the wheel for them. I'd understand fire. I would be a super caveman.
You would be.
Woody is going to distort the timeline. The space.
You have people washing their hands.
Yeah,
cleaning
you
food.
actually would be a god. Like they would idolize you.
Yeah,
like
I'd
a
be
god.
like, no, you don't want to put dirt in a cut.
Yeah.
Wash it out and
Go to that
Although,
stream and
have you ever seen where they'll put like feces in a cut so that the maggots will come and eat away the bad part?
That sounds like a dangerous game.
That is so it turns. So, I've seen that done in a couple of movies, and I looked into it, and it's a thing that is done not so much with the feces, but with the introduction of maggots into certain kinds of wounds like burns and
Infections.
frostbite and infections. They will basically put a bunch of, let's say you have a serious infection on your leg, they'll fill it up with maggots and like wrap it up and let the maggots go in there. And the thing is, the maggots will only eat the dead flesh and skin and stuff. So when they get the maggots back out, you have this. You didn't lose any of you that was still good, and you got rid of all of you that was bad.
Yep. Apparently, it's a really effective and painless way to keep a wound
Let
clean.
me ask you this, Woody. What happens if you go to the cavemans and they're just hostile like a fucking Bengal tiger or some
And he
shit?
shoots a couple of them and takes care of that.
Yeah, this is my boomstick.
Are they making another one of those?
Yeah, but he's not going to be in it. They can't. They've got to put what's his name, Wings?
Bruce Campbell?
Bruce Campbell. You got to have Bruce Campbell leading the ship.
They fucked up People Dead when they made it a chick flick.
I didn't care for the new Evil Dead too much.
The
It wasn't
Evil Dead
bad,
sucked
but it
ass.
wasn't great.
All right, so Kyle, where do you want to go? We didn't
I
hear
don't think
yours.
you have to go back to cave people to be a god. I think you could probably go back to you definitely want to bypass that whole period of time where we were burning people for witchcraft. None of that, okay?
Yeah,
want to
because
go
you'd
back.
be a witch.
Yeah, I think you want to go back to ancient Greece, ancient Rome. Maybe.
Oh, now who's a pedophile? Carry on.
Oh yeah. No judgment back in those days, I promise. I think you go back in those times, especially ancient Rome. I think you go back to ancient Rome. You got a few tricks, a few gadgets. You're very quickly, up a social ladder that is going to have you, top tier person. You're going to be able to get all the food, all the women you want. You're going to be respected. You're going to be rich. I think ancient Rome would be the way to go.
I think I'm more rich now than the ancient Romans were.
No.
I'm not talking about actual physical wealth, but like shit you could
Creature
do with
comforts?
money. Shit you could do with money.
Ancient Rome was the shit. So this is before the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages, we kind of regressed. But in ancient Rome, there was indoor plumbing. You had hot water, cold water. You had baths. You had pools. You had basically a pretty decent civilization. And it was structured. There was a political system. I would go back to ancient Rome.
Well, right now I can get in my car, which is powered without horses, and get any type of food I want from anywhere in the world within minutes.
I would rather.
I can call the other side of the world.
I would rather sit on some sort of gigantic feather bed shaped like shaped like me, whatever. They'll buy me they'll do whatever I want, and have like 50 slave girls and like feeding me grapes and stuff and fanning me with fans and stuff.
Yeah,
That's what you'd have in Rome.
But these aren't makeup slave girls. These are, this is Janie from the block.
No, these are good looking slave girls.
I think it's funny that Wings of Redemption's two focuses all show long have been pussy and food.
Yeah.
Pussy food trucks are all you need in life. That's it.
Pussy, food, and trucks, baby. Painkiller
You
already
you
talk.
reproduce, you stay alive, and you have fun.
Lefty,
You go
how'd you get on
places.
this show without a truck? What are you
I don't know.
driving?
I drive a Grand Marquis.
He's got a truck. He's got essentially a truck, the car truck.
A
Yeah,
Grand
well, it's a
Marquis.
boat.
It's a boat. Yeah.
Wait, all right. What year is your Grand Marquis?
2001. It's got dual exhaust too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta have 4-wheel drive, man. You gotta be able to get. What are you gonna do when the zombies come?
What color is it?
Like
He's old.
a red, like a darker red, maroonish.
Burgundy.
I think.
Yeah, I think actually burgundy would work.
So you drive that car.
I would name it Ron Burgundy.
That it gets me from A to B.
That car screams that I didn't buy this myself. It was handed down to me.
Oh God.
Is that what you're driving right there?
It's a little darker. It's got better, what I would think are better rims on it. But yeah, essentially, yeah. It's the little darker red.
Have you ever thought about putting a lift kit on it and getting rubber band tires?
Put some dubs on there, some 24s.
It's close to
Yeah.
the Marauder package because there is you can get the Mercury Marauder, I think it's called, or I think that's how you pronounce it, and it does come with I forget. It comes with nice chrome rims and it comes with dual exhaust, and I think it's got a tighter motor. I've got a 4.2 liter
You got a
V8.
4.6.
Do I have? Is that what I don't know?
You have
It's
a
been a while.
4.6
You don't
liter.
know what kind of engine's in your car?
I think it's 4.2. It might be 4. But anyway, it comes with a tighter motor, and I think it might be turbocharged. I'm
You
not
have what
sure.
you call a modular V8, which was introduced in '97 for Ford, and there's only 3 of them. You have a 3.9 V6, you have a 4.6 V8, and you have a 5.4.
There you go.
And those cars came with 4.6s.
Wings.
You're like Marissa Tomei and My Cousin Vinny.
I know, right?
Like there's positive traction in a 1965 Pontiac Tempest.
Well, you basically got a Ford. What you got? It's a Crown Vic that's just made with the Mercury name.
Yep, that's all it is. But it rides nice. It's smooth.
Oh, it's a luxury car. It's fucking, it's just great. I'd take it.
The only thing that sucks is that in the snow and when it gets rain, because it doesn't have posi, so if I get on it when I'm turning, like if it has a tendency to
Do you have
vacuum flies out.
You have the column shifter or you have the center console shifter?
Column.
Yeah, the column shifter is the way to go. That's why I told to get Boogie. Boogie should have went that way.
Wings.
Cardmeister Boogie.
So Wings posted a picture during the snowstorm after his power went out.
Okay.
And onto Facebook, and it said, what was the title of the picture? It was something like, "This is how rednecks
Redneck
get it."
style.
Redneck style. And I looked closely, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what it appeared to be
It was a fish burner.
It was like if you had taken a grill-sized propane tank, a hose was running from it, which ran to a burner on which you had like a pot of water, right?
Well, I just had the fish burner. I took the picture without the pot.
Okay. Well, I guess maybe I saw 2 pictures.
Well, there were 2 pictures. One where I took it with the flash on, one without, just to show the luminescence.
Fair enough. Okay, so he had this open propane burner going, which I didn't mind at all, except that it was inside of his fucking house. And so
let me explain this. First off,
let me explain the dangers to the crowd. So the problem with an open propane flame in your house,
or any combustion.
well, not necessarily. There are indoor propane heaters, but they have safeguards against carbon monoxide poisoning. And I'm just looking at this thing burning in his house, and I'm like, that thing is literally filling your house with a deadly odorless gas right now. and you're posting on Facebook. And I started looking at the Facebook comments, and like the number one was like carbon monoxide poisoning.
Well, first off, I'm fully aware of carbon monoxide poisoning, but the amount of time we were going to have the burner on was negligible for that. It would literally take hours to destroy all the oxygen in the house.
This Painkiller already medical advice. Be sure to file it where it belongs.
Yeah, it's Painkiller ready, so it's going to take more than 10 minutes to fill the house with carbon monoxide. And what we were doing was boiling water, which we couldn't do outside because of the sleeting rain. So we couldn't just like very well put the propane burner
Rain
out
is
there.
water.
Do you really want rainwater in your coffee, Kyle?
I wouldn't mind at all. I bet it tastes delicious.
Rainwater is no.
I know it's good fresh water. I understand this, but
Yeah.
we just boiled some water on the motherfucker, made some coffee because the house is 50 degrees. We weren't using that small heating source as a heating source. We have a fireplace 3 feet from it.
Okay.
All right.
I was just making sure because it looked like you were going to die.
We
were
I
all
posted that picture in hopes to get that reaction.
Yeah, yeah.
My wife is on the new house rampage again. I don't know.
You better buy one. Just fucking deal with it.
Okay, yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that. Wing says he could pull the trigger.
There you go.
So
You
much
got it.
pressure.
Just impulse buy, Woody. Just impulse buy. Just impulse buy a plot of land. Bam.
She's
What you
looking
can
at
do?
land now. She's looking at a foreclosure home, dude. Have you ever? It's an old movie. Have you guys seen The Money Pit?
Yes.
All right, cool. So this thing is a foreclosure. Every house in the neighborhood costs like $800,000. Which, like, if you're from California in the U.S., $800,000, like that. Lots of houses cost that. It doesn't mean it's special. In this area where I live, if a house costs like $800,000 or $1 million, it is beautiful, right? And they're like 6,000 square feet on acres of yard, brick, etc. So,
Don't do that.
this one is under foreclosure, and she thinks we can get it for like $250,000 or $300,000, and it needs a ton of work. A ton of work. Like, it's rotting. It's older.
No, Woody.
No.
Yeah.
No.
She's like, for $150,000 or $200,000, we could have it fixed up and it'd be nice.
Have a run-down house.
I hope that if you put $200,000 into it, it's nice, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Won't you do it the smart way? Won't you do it the Woody way? What's your current house worth?
I don't know, 200, 250.
$250,000. All right. Say give her a $350,000 limit and step up to the $800,000 house. Slowly sell each house and work your way into something.
No.
See, what you want to do, Woody, is you want to sell all the equity you have in any piece of property you own, and
Well,
then
he-
you want
he
to
owns-
speculate with that money in the hopes
That's how
that-
people work themselves up into bigger houses. You don't start with an $800,000
Sort of like
house.
when
You
that guy
start with
sold
an
all his wine
$80,000.
and put it on black in Vegas. I pulled that move.
Well, hold up. I think you're misunderstanding me. Houses don't depreciate very fast, and some actually increase in value.
As a rule of thumb, it costs about 10% to sell a house.
All right.
All right.
So instead of making
So
a
you're
huge
suggesting
jump, just walk
a
into it.
$25,000 cost followed by like a $40,000 cost followed by like a $50,000 cost.
I'm saying work your way into the bigger house. I mean, like you can get a house that she might be more happy with now, live in it 10 years, then sell the $350,000 house
I
to
don't
go
know
to the
what to do.
$500,000.
There was a PKA subreddit post all about my house. A lot of people are under the impression I had 2 acres of land, and they pointed to like the minute
Living life.
where I said that in PKA, and they misunderstood. I was quoting my wife, who said something like, I'm looking at this thing, it has like 2 acres, and they thought I was talking about my house, but I have 0.4 acres, which is pretty good, but it's not as spacious as it sounds, because
That doesn't sound very spacious at all.
not to you, but like in a neighborhood like mine, it's bigger than most. But I live on a cul-de-sac, so my lot is kind of shaped like a pie wedge. And because I live at like the front of the pie wedge, I'm about as packed in my next to neighbors as somebody with a quarter-acre lot would be.
Yeah, your front yard's very small, but your backyard's much bigger.
Yeah, yeah. So and I feel like it. When we talk about acreage as like elbow room, I have let's round up from 0.4 to call it half an acre. I feel like I have less than a half an acre worth of elbow room because of the pie shape that the lot is. And I just don't know, man. Like I love that this house is paid for. I love that I'm comfortable right now, that I'm not stressed about cash. I am like, that stuff is all great. And I work in a job where that tomorrow is pretty uncertain. You don't know what's going to be. Like, what if I do YouTube videos again for a living and they don't come back? Or, what if Minecraft as a game fades up, washes up like that? These are eventualities that I need to be prepared for.
I can give you the advice you already know. The cheapest house you have is the one you own.
Yeah, and it's paid for. That's the cheapest. But on the other hand, I've been saving since I was a little kid, and little kid being like 18. And, we could live in a nicer place if we wanted to. And
if you move, do this for me. Don't move to a HOA. Get the fuck out of HOA. They're horrible, bad things that the devil made.
A homeowners association is like a tiny little neighborhood government, if you call it that. And I'm neither pro nor con HOA. I feel like if it's what you want, it's good. If it's not, it's bad. And if you live in a place where you want your neighbors to have matching mailboxes that have been recently painted, and it's important to you that your neighbor doesn't have a basketball hoop on the street in front of his house and things like that, that your place is nice and cool, and you do that, therefore you want your neighbors to extend that same courtesy, then it's for you. Personally, that's not what I'm looking for. I'd rather not give a hoot about my neighbors and have them do the same for me. I'd rather have, I don't know, where I am right now, I have big dogs, and I have 7-foot dogs and a 4-foot fence. And these dogs, they put their feet on the top of the fence and stand over and like bark aggressively at our neighbors. And if that happens, we're out the door like, Johnny, that we bring him in and we rustle it, and we don't want any noise or any trouble. I'd like to have some elbow room. Like, if the dogs are outside barking, it not be some sort of crisis that we have to immediately think about the noise ordinance and things like that.
Yeah, fuck that noise.
Yeah, I'd like... And then
I work on my truck and have subwoofers going off. Don't give a fuck.
And what was the other thing? It wasn't explosions in the yard. All that'd be nice. It was the size of the house. My house isn't tiny. It's 2,000 square feet or just under that. But because it's my office, Colin's school, and a home, compared to other families of 4, I feel like we could use more space. Some people only use their house as a house. We're like, rolling the school equipment out of the living room, into the living room, setting up. Colin was in the living room today on the floor doing all kinds of, he's working with models. He's learning about like animal bodies or something like that. They had spiders that they were taking apart, and plastic spiders. Anyway, if we had a room for that, that'd be nice. Instead of, what we do now, where like everything is kind of combined and shoved into the corners before and after we do anything. And but I don't know. It's stress.
Look at the positive. Kyle blew up a piece of explosive in my yard. Nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah, nobody cared.
Yeah, you should move down near Wings, Woody. There you go.
I could get a big home in Conway, I bet.
Oh, dude. If you're going to spend,
move in next door to Wings. Move in next door to Wings, please. Please make it happen.
If you spend $300,000 in Conway, you can get probably the biggest house here. 350, 400,000. You're on the hill.
But the problem is Woody's in an area where he's got a lot of specialized stuff that meets his needs. He's got all the stuff for Colin. He's got all the stuff for Hope. He's got connections there.
I'm sure the beach has all that.
No, we want to live close enough that we don't have to change therapists for Colin or schools for Hope. That's something we want to do. And there's something else.
Schools, you're fucked unless you go Bible. There are no good private schools here.
He's not moving to Conway.
Yeah, I know he's not.
I was going to say.
Wings and hopes are dashed.
You know what sucks about Conway? Your internet connection
everything.
speed. Your internet connection is lousy. I ain't got time for that lag.
Well, internet connection where I live is lousy, but it's good up in Conway. But we have fiber in Conway.
What?
Oh.
There's fiber in There's fiber 7 miles from my house.
Stop the train! You mean to tell me I could live in a mansion on top of a hill with a fiber connection for $300,000 in Conway?
Yep.
Here I come, baby.
I mean, seriously, I'm dead serious.
And you're half an hour from Myrtle Beach.
The most expensive house in Conway is over there on Lincoln. And it's $850,000, but it's fucking huge. It's a mansion.
And Wings is gonna come over every day to live stream and upload videos.
Dude, I'm too fucking lazy to come over to people's houses.
I can see that. Woody, I'm here. I'm ready for my upload. We're gonna go.
You'll have a new best friend. You'll have like a live-in, like a second son.
I have like 2 hours of Titanfall footage on this thing.
Oh my god, I can't
to
go to
upload
Twitch.
a video.
I can't go to Twitch anymore. I can't do it because I see everybody playing Titanfall, and I hate every single person that's playing Titanfall early. And I'm like, I want to play it.
Man, it looks great, huh?
Oh, it looks so cool.
I hate that. My phone is too heavy to pick up.
It's just oh my goodness, I watched people play Titanfall. How are people getting it so early? I signed up for the beta for PC, but now people are getting early access codes for Xbox One. And it's just like, oh my god, I want to play. I want to play.
And, I've watched a few videos. I watched T. Martin's video, and I don't know who else I watched, but I think I really liked the game. That one pistol bit out head after a few seconds. That seemed.
I'm not putting any value toward Titanfall because it's
Are you typing while you talk, Kyle? By chance?
Excuse me?
Were you typing while you talked?
I was dragging my mouse around like right now.
It muted you. I don't know what you said.
Oh, I was just saying I've been watching T. Martin's footage and I really like it. Though that pistol that automatically gives you headshots seems kind of overpowered. Though it takes a few seconds to lock on, I guess.
I'm going to go ahead and say this. It's not going to be as big a deal as people make it out to be because it's on one system, two if you count PC.
Better
PC might be
PC,
enough.
Damn it.
Yeah, but that's like saying Halo. Halo was on the PC and Xbox, and
Halo was huge.
Halo.
Gargantuan.
Halo was gigantic.
Yeah,
Gears of War
when
2.
Call of Duty didn't exist.
Right.
No,
but-
Halo 3 went right up against it. I think it's going to be a big game. I don't think it's going to be Halo big, but I think it might be Gears of War big.
Oh, bigger than Gears.
Yeah?
I think,
War's
yeah. I think it'll be bigger than Gears. I don't know if it'll be as big as COD.
So I found you a house, Woody. This thing
You
is
did.
sweet.
Do you have a
This
link?
is, yeah, I will link you right now. One moment. I'm just doing some clicking, and I'm doing this all one hand. So this thing is nice.
What you doing with the other hand?
I'm holding my microphone.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, just talking
good,
to this in.
Good.
I'm still looking at Grand Marquis.
Oh.
Why?
Because I'm sort of wondering, does Lefty have like the automatic air conditioning system? Does he have? Because like some of these 2001s come with that, auto climate control.
No, it doesn't have that. No, it's bare bones. If I ever make it big on YouTube, the first thing I'm buying is a brand new car, either a BMW or an Audi.
Wow, they didn't clean the kitchen before they took architectural photos of it?
Check out the second link, and check out that fucking front yard.
There's like children's toys in it. And so there's people in these. It kind of cracks me up.
Realtor.com. I can't help it.
No, but it's like, I just, in this area, when people do photos and stuff, they clean the house first.
Yeah, I think that's pretty standard. I don't know why in Conway they've decided not to.
Is there a propane tank? Oh, there's your own living gangster grandma. I see in a picture.
These houses right here will never sell.
Really? This house is
Well, first
beautiful.
off-
The second
first
one in
off-
particular, I like.
Harrison, you could name your price on the Harrison Shortcut Road, and here's why. It's literally less than a mile from the prison.
So?
The prison is on Harris Shortcut Road.
Dude,
J.
I
Rubin Long
daydream about
Detention
that
Center.
shit. You know how many guns I have?
Yeah, right?
J.
I
Rubin
don't know
Long
about this,
Detention
Woody.
Center's right
you might
there.
see a prisoner running through your enormous yard. Really? I've been wanting to test out this new scope.
What is this red thing? Like a modern day. Oh, it's a Corvette.
Yeah, it's like a Corvette
Couch?
couch. Yeah.
That comes with the house.
it's bolted to the
Oh,
foundation.
the pool is
so-
kind of nice.
Oh, there's a pool?
Mm-hmm.
And Buckville, this is going to sound racist as all hell, but Buckville Road is actually in a predominantly black neighborhood.
That's not racist. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's.
But this house on Shortcut Road, you think they'll accept the deal? I can lowball them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's call him up.
This is a 10,000 square foot house. But you
That'll
won't get
do.
you won't get 750,000.
I think you should call him up and you should ask about the demographics in the area.
The Harrison Shortcut's near a prison though.
I think you should call him up.
All right, let me grab a soda. I'll be right back.
Yeah, because we need to do.
Got a
people
9-car
recording, doing the
garage.
phone thing. A 9-car garage, huh?
This is a garage, 9-car garage.
So, Woody, can you get 8 other
It's
Toyota
prototype
Tacomas?
single-family home with garage, 9 cars.
He's got a fleet of Toyota pickup trucks that one for every day of the week and then 2 on Sunday or
The
something.
master bedroom is painfully small for what it is.
The
This
9-car garage may sound insane, but if that were me getting that house, because I've got 2 cars, 3, but I would love to have a 9-car garage.
Are you
'cause
far
can
from your
totally-
mic?
I'm like 2 inches. Is this better?
Oh, that's a little too close. I don't know. It just sounded like distant for.
I think you could turn a 9-car garage into something really cool.
Kyle
Yeah.
instantly went for the highball houses. I was looking more like what over here, like Caesars 105, Osprey Cove Loop. That's a nice fucking neighborhood, and it's 130 grand.
So who do you call?
The Ghostbusters?
Thanks.
Like Paula Court,
I had to
that
do it.
greenhouse. I know that greenhouse is ugly as shit, but Paula Court's a nice neighborhood too.
There's a detached 1,200 square foot workshop. This is.
Woody's like, oh, shit.
I want to see workshop pictures. Fuck the house.
Like, I
I think it's probably that thing. But that.
There's an overhead.
You guys are looking at houses. I'm looking at glasses to buy.
I need new glasses too. Like mine's got like a greasy tint on them that won't clean off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I need new lenses. I
I'm
just
liking
don't.
these Ray-Bans. I don't know
you
if I should.
actually need sunglasses. That's a waste of money.
No. Ray-Ban does eyeglasses.
Oh.
The family
No.
room is 32 by 20. That's a big room, Wings.
I was talking about the master bedroom. It's 15 by 22.
Has a
man.
4-car. Oh, a 4-car garage with a 9-vehicle parking capacity. Maybe it's double deep or something.
I was just looking at the
yeah, that
property
might-
details here.
It's possible.
I don't see a phone number to call. I really wanted to call them. Kyle, you... Oh, wait, Neil Johnson, the listing agent here.
Yeah, give Neil a call. Act like a good old boy. Hey, Neil, how's it going? I'll tell you what, Neil. Like that property you get.
Kyle, are you ready?
I think he might have gone to go get a soda. Or
Oh, he's
bed.
getting a soda now. Okay. I think we're going to give Neil a call, see how this goes.
Wings, you actually might have Woody as a regional neighbor. You might be able to go and hang out.
I doubt Woody will buy this. This is an expensive house.
Yeah, it's higher than we were looking at. But we should talk to him. It is. I mean, it's a lovely home.
It is also a little bit outside town. That also should affect the value.
In a good way or a bad way?
A bad way, but you're right down the road from the actual internet provider. Like they're on 319. But here's
Really?
the thing. Here's the thing. See Mayfield, North Lake, Stern, Howard. This is a trailer park right here.
Hold on. Let me. Where's the trailer park?
Go down to location. You scroll down to location. You'll see like a mini map,
Yeah.
and it'll show you where the house is at. And there's 319, which is a major road. And this is Harrison, and you're sitting in front. The trailer park sits in front of you.
Oh, wow, that's a...
That should affect the value as well.
We got to do some filming in there.
You could go to Google Street View and you could probably see what it looks like from the actual house.
That's a run-down trailer park too.
You gotta
That's
tell
what I'm
Neil.
talking
Look,
about.
Neil, I
That's
love the house,
North-
the area. We could do
I
a
mean,
little
if you
work
want
on
to know the name of what he called North Lakes, that's the name of that trailer park.
it. Is there a lake?
Oh, there's no lake in that motherfucker.
Well, what the fuck? Why is it called North Lakes? That doesn't make any sense. There's not even one lake. It doesn't even have a lake, let alone many lakes.
They're
which-
not even uniform.
Lakes
You have
Lake.
some double wides, some single wides in some houses.
Oh, well, not even a non-uniform trailer park. Well, that's some bullshit. That's insane. How do those people even live with themselves?
Woody, do you remember when we discussed the castle?
Yes.
I heard the other day, I was talking to a friend, and he said that apparently building those castles has become cheaper because
it
of
almost
this
sounds
foreign.
like you're using the wrong mic.
Really? How about
Lefty,
even?
back me up here. This is a real thing,
It's
right?
It sounds like he might have moved where he's at because there's a little bit of an echo.
How about now?
That's better.
Yes. Yeah.
I literally just sat back so that I wouldn't be straining my upper back. Okay, I'm gonna sit like this. I'll just hold the microphone. This will work.
Yeah.
No, but apparently there's some new formed poured concrete method where you set up a structure and then you pump it full of concrete and you make your castle, and it makes it much more affordable to build yourself a castle.
Well, that's got to happen, right?
For $500,000, you can build a castle that would fit right into Game of Thrones.
Uh-oh.
Should we get? I imagine that I picture a listener listening to the show right now saying, "Gosh darn it, Woody, fuck you, I hate you, burn your mom and kill your dogs," because that's what they say. Why haven't you called this guy yet?
Yeah, Kyle, cue up that call.
You got
if you're going to keep scrolling down the Woody, you see like homes near where it is. You see like there's Stern
I think
Drive
this should be a group call.
and 39,900. I know this area left and out. Like you go down the road to the right for about 2.5 miles. J. Rupert Long's right there on the left. So is the Social Security office, and it pops out to 701 North.
Who's taking it? Is this a group call or what's the deal?
Kyle will start.
Thank you for calling. Press 1 if you are a new customer. Press 2 if you are an existing customer.
Which house are we asking about?
Harrison.
The second one?
Harris Shortcut.
Thank you for calling. Press
Thank you for using Realtor.com. To connect with a real estate professional, press 1.
$1904 Harris, Kyle.
I have it. Wow, the aerial view looks great. It's a big fucking house.
Oh, I see the garage. Good lord.
Yeah,
Hello?
that's like a. Hi, I'm calling about a property that you had listed on 1904 Harris Shortcut Road.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
What can you tell me about the property? I'm looking at it right now on your website. It looks great.
First of all, I got to call it awesome. I mean, it's like if you're a guy's guy, it is the perfect house, the one that makes the guy happy and the woman happy. It's
Well, I've got a partner. I've actually got my partner on the phone. Woody?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
Awesome, but no, the house is awesome. It's so elegant. I mean, it's got so much detail. The owner, was the original builder of the house. He's got the big showers with the double person showers with all the body sprays in it. Double vanities, double walk-in closets in the master suite, fireplace in the master bedroom, unbelievable outdoor kitchen covered with the pool, paver patios, fountain in the middle of the driveway, all brick home. It's got a guest house with it's got a full kitchen in it, a 2-bedroom apartment over top on the second floor of the guest house.
That's perfect. We've got a few friends that well, Woody has a live-in friend, and I do as well. Woody's friend is Jordy, and my friend's Mr. Lefty over here. We've actually got everybody on the call. We're all sitting around looking at your house right now, and the reason we like it so much is it's a huge house. Could you tell me a little bit more about the demographic of the area? Like what are the people around there like?
It is kind of like a remote. It's not really called rural. It's just a higher end country setting. You know what I mean? It's nicer homes around you, but there's larger pieces of property. Like you got 5 acres on that piece.
A lot of white people in the area?
Yes.
So what are the neighbors like? Are we going to have any multicultural neighbors or anything like that? Because I just moved out of an area, and we're trying to get away from that.
Okay. It's one of those things, like, I don't know the neighbors per se, and, it's one of those things where in the real estate business, I got to just kind of protect it. The equal housing opportunity thing, I've got to say, hey, it is a nice area. And I can't be prejudiced to any.
There aren't any of those types of people around that would cause any problems, though. Is that what you're saying?
I can tell you that the homeowner has never had any issues with anything, and he loves living there.
Okay, I noticed there's a big yard too. That's great. A lot of room for activities.
I got a question. It seems like it's right in front of it is a trailer park.
It's down the street, and it's a nice established, clean, manufactured home development that are occupied by mostly owners. It's not a rental place. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like a home park, per se, as in you would see on the Myrtle Manor show or something. It's more of a very clean, very nice neighborhood.
It's also rather close to the prison as well.
It's as a crow flies, yes. As navigating to it, how you get to this house, you never know it. Coming from the beach,
Well, that's how a prisoner would travel as well as how a crow would fly. My concern would be that maybe a prisoner escapes and is running through the backyard.
That's not my concern. That's my.
You've got
my
all those
dream.
guns.
Yeah, no, bring them. We need like a yellow brick road from the prison to the house.
Woody loves to protect us. He loves protecting us.
This is an unusual what if circumstantial conversation that I wasn't really prepared for, but I'll answer the questions the best of my ability.
Well, one of my main concerns is just like I mentioned, there's North Lakes right there, which is like you said, a modular home park, and like on your site here we're looking at, which is Realtor.com. It lists other homes near 1904 Harris, and some of these homes are like $40,000 range. Like, how's that going to affect the home's value in years to come if we purchase it?
I think when it comes to those areas, and this is a unique piece of property, in the fact of how we priced this home is basically what it would cost you to replace it, because it is the nicest one on the street. There's no doubt about it. And it is on the largest piece of land on the street. Most of those tracts start off with 5 acres. Some are cut in half down to 2.5 acres. So if you look at the amount of square footage is built on it, there is always going to be, I guess, someone looking for something unique, and that is what this piece of property is. So I'd say you're safe bet.
Could you tell us how many acres actually comes with? Because it doesn't really say on the site.
5 acres. 5 acres.
That's a lot of room. That's a lot of room. What is the area like? Are there more progressive elements that would be that would see us, and because we're getting out of an area where we've been persecuted before, perhaps unfairly.
Yeah, everybody sees 4 guys living together, and they're like, what's going on here? And Lefty likes to. He's a trans man. He likes to dress up, and the neighbors give a shit about that. And it's not like he's like Lady Gaga walking around outside. He's just wearing a skirt and a blouse. Not hurting anybody.
Yep.
We don't push our lifestyle on anyone. It's not funny, sir. We don't push our lifestyle on anyone. We're just trying to fit in and make our way in the world, and we've each got.
Give it everything we got.
Yeah, we've each got enough money to throw together, I think, to make this happen. Is the price flexible at all?
Well, I'd always say anything is flexible,
I agree with
you.
Not everything.
Cash, I mean, cash is king, it is. If somebody comes in, and that is one thing about these pieces of property is they are unique. So it's not every day you have buyers for them. I mean, we've had this house listed for a year, and we've shown it 4 times. But we knew that. We knew that going in that it was going to be a different clientele. But I actually showed it myself yesterday, and they seemed very interested on it, coming back in a couple weeks. But back to the original question.
That's crazy. So you've shown it 4 times a year.
The best way to do is you'll have enough space. You can do whatever you want to do.
Let me ask you a question. This is an important question because we make most of our money on the internet, so the internet connection is very important to us. Would it have fiber optics to be able to run to the house?
Yes, it does.
It does?
It's fiber optic section, and it's got it's called through a company called HTC, which is our local cable and internet provider.
Do you know what the upload and download speed is?
I can find out.
I have a question. So the last time I purchased a home, and every time I purchase a car, I like to get something from the salesman to remember the experience. It sounds like you're pretty flexible with this thing. Our budget was right around $700, $725, with closing costs and everything. I don't know if that's something that we're going to be able to get close to here, but
every time, like I said, I deal with a salesperson on a big purchase like this, I like to take something from them to remember the experience. So with a car salesman, I usually take their tie, or I took a guy's, his lapel, something like that. Would you be willing to give me something from you to remember this big purchase? Could I get maybe your socks or your underwear or something like that?
Socks seem appropriate.
I'm not very appropriate though. Are you a boxers or a briefs man?
Boxers.
See, there you go. See, there's nothing wrong with that. Let me ask you a question. We're about 100 miles away. We're a little bit north of you, and we're thinking about coming down there and relocating. If we came down there, checked out the house, everything goes all good, and we could close on this thing within a month or so, could we keep your underwear?
It could be a clean pair, not what you're wearing.
No.
I mean, just
I would like the
pair.
pair he's wearing.
Oh, well.
You guys are a trip.
Do you think? Would you be willing to do something like that though? Could we do that? I know it seems silly, but I always do it.
He always does this. It's embarrassing.
Well, yeah, why not?
Hey, what's in the shop?
Always got to be over the top.
I know this was awesome, but the shop, is it
I
a woodworking shop?
I guess if you guys would respect that, I'd have to probably ask my girlfriend's permission first, but, of course. Why not?
Woody had a question, I think. Woody, what was in the shop?
What is actually in the shop, dude?
Yeah, woodworking, automotive. What kind of shop is it?
He's a car collector, so he's more about cars and car collectibles and knick-knack, things like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
What kind of man is the seller? Could we maybe give him a chat? I mean, it's not every day. I'm assuming that there's a group of guys like us coming into your area over there. So would he be okay with chatting us up and getting a beat on us? Who's going to be buying his house?
No, probably not. He's a real nice guy.
Oh, he is? Okay, cool. Well, that's great. I hope he's more progressive than
Should be
other
good.
people.
So like my friend was saying, we made most of our money on the internet. We do a live stream event every week with the four of us, and so we're all performers, and that's generally how we make our money. So the internet should be good, and I'm thinking that large garage, we could turn that into a studio to shoot our videos and our live streams. So I think that's going to help a lot.
Okay. Yeah, hey, whatever floats y'all's boat, man. I'm down for whatever.
All right.
Oh, you are? Oh,
that in
well,
mind.
I mean, I'm sure after the closing we'd love to take you out to maybe a nice dinner.
You'll want to ask your girlfriend about that, too.
You could bring her, too. The more the merrier. That's what I always say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you could be part of our first live stream, our first shoot, if you want.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great. We could advertise it as this is we could have our realtor there. It would be great. It would be the four amigos and the realtor.
You're Neil Johnson?
Yes.
Yeah, it's your picture on the page. I'm down.
Dude, that would look great on the thumbnail.
Jordy, did you see this guy?
Strapping
gentleman.
Do you work out, Neil? Do you hit the gym?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It shows. It shows.
You got dimples.
It shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
The dental plan.
Yeah, you never know when you're in South Carolina.
So I think when we get into the negotiation phase, I mean, what kind of flexibility do we have on the price? As my associate was speaking here, we are not really at the list price right now. What can we do? What can we do about that to maybe bring that down a bit?
Like I said, I'll be in a situation that I'll be working for the seller. So what I would do, I work for both you as the guys as a dual agent. So what I have to do is, you take an offer, and then I'd have to keep confidentiality what you guys are willing to pay, and I'd also have to keep confidential what the seller's willing to sell it for. So what I'd say is, hey guys, bring me an offer, I present it, and then I bring back an offer, and then somewhere in the middle, hopefully we can put a deal together.
All right.
Huh, okay.
Down to this sounds like something. I think we all need to hop in the RAV4 and head on down there.
I think so, yeah.
All right. Okay, thank you for your time, Neil.
Neil, I have one last question before we go. Again, this has to do with possibly after the closing, our first live stream or video shoot. Would you consider yourself more of a top, a bottom, maybe a power bottom? Because I think that would work well with our group and what we have going on. Because if you I mean, you express a little bit of interest in what we do.
You did.
So would you be interested in that? Did any of those things?
All right, guys. Look, I tell you what. I love selling real estate, and I am you guys do what y'all do. I do what I do. But let's just keep it professional. I'll be more than happy to help you work on a real estate deal, but let's just keep it professional.
We're professionals.
I don't push my agenda. Y'all don't push y'all. You know what I mean? How about that?
Oh,
Okay.
I'll push more than an agenda.
Yeah,
I'm more of a top myself. We're always looking.
I'll
for
let
new
you
talent.
push your agenda if you want. It's just I need to know what you
Oh,
like. Do you like
Lefty.
pushing or receiving agendas? I guess is what we're asking, Neil.
All right,
One
guys,
time,
come on. Let's
when
keep
Lefty was taking
You know.
2 guys from behind, there was 1 in front of him and 2 more waiting in line, and that look in his eyes was just. When I saw his mascara begin to run, I knew this was going to be a good film.
Oh, that poor gentleman. So I think we should head on down there in the RAV4, check that house out.
Absolutely.
Oh, that was good. Man, I wish I really had $750,000. Because if I had that kind of cash, I would fuck with people like that and just be like, and be like, no, I'm serious, Neil. I want to buy this house, and I'm going to buy this house. But we have to talk about gay things
the whole time.
And he tried. You know what? Props to Neil. Good on Neil.
I thought Neil was pretty good.
He was a very
Neil's
good
good.
sport. Neil was a very good sport about it. I
Sorry,
think
Neil.
once we got over the top, I mean, right at the end was when I think he finally was like, okay, this is a bit, but.
I think he thought it was legit the whole time because he was like, don't push your agenda, I won't push mine. So yeah, maybe not that house in particular, Woody, but you know. I vote for the castle. My vote is for Woody to build the castle.
Woody should call him back as Woody, just asking about the house legitimately. Like, have there been any other offers? Have you gotten any other calls on this house? Just see the guy's like, oh man, let me tell you, these 4 just queermos just gave me a call. You do not understand what they wanted to do to me. It was
He was down to
unsettling.
give us his underwear.
Yeah, he was down to give us that underwear.
He's like,
For those of you who don't remember, I did that to a salesman I used to work with once. I called him, did a fake accent, and told him I was going to come in and buy the car, but I wanted his underwear. And I convinced one of my fellow salesmen to go into the bathroom, take his briefs off, have them in his jacket pocket, and he's waiting on this customer to come in. And then I called him out on it in front of everybody, and he freaked out. But that was messed up. Poor Mitty.
That was good. I liked that.
I like talking to that guy. He seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah, poor guy.
I had to fight the urge to start bashing HTC.
Why?
I
What
knew
is HTC? Is
were.
that a problem? What's the?
Internet.
I hate HTC.
Are they the company you have right now?
This the only company in the area.
Oh, so they have fiber in certain areas of Conway,
But not to you.
But
not
to
me.
you. Oh,
They literally, like, the fiber ends. Like, there's a school less than a mile from me. It's called PD Elementary. That's where the fiber ends.
You know what you should do? Buy
What?
1904 Harris Shortcut Road.
Well, as soon as I win the Mega Millions, Woody, I'll go right about that.
You
Well,
told me
you don't need to
Fallout
buy
series
it.
is doing great. Is that what it is? Fallout series?
Yeah, my Fallout series is doing great, but it ain't doing $250,000 great.
They only show that house like once every 3 or 4 months. So you could just go ahead and move on in.
Dude, that house is going to stay on the market a while.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Houses like that do. When there's like $1 million house in an area that you normally don't see $1 million homes, it
Like
sits there
outside
for a
of
while.
a trailer park that is
Yeah.
predominantly black.
Although looking at the pictures of that house from above, especially, that's a really big, nice house.
Dude, what that dude? He called some land, or he inherited some land. And
He's a really rich guy. He's collected. He has a 9-car garage for his car.
I understand that, but really rich guys around here usually don't earn it. They usually inherit it.
That is, I mean, you look at it from above, you're right. I forgot. It has a fountain in the driveway.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, very Wayne Manor. Very nice.
But
It's your little bat cave.
I wonder if anyone in my area has castle building expertise. Because that sounds awesome.
Another option, what if you bought your neighbor's house, tore it down, or what if you bought your neighbor's house and then just combined it with yours somehow?
Our neighbor just sold their house, but it wasn't our next door neighbor. It was the one next to that.
Yeah, if you could get your next door neighbor's home, then I'm just imagining a scenario where you keep your current home and all the equity that you've built there, and just
I could build a super home.
a super home, yeah, a mega home. You just combine
build the two next to you, just like fuck them. Got 3 lots now, motherfuckers.
No, he has his current home, and his next door neighbor's right next door. You just tear the exterior walls down that separate the two and build a connecting structure.
And
Double house.
I picture it being made of vinyl and inflatable, this connecting structure.
Oh my god.
It's bouncy too, so you bounce from one part of the house to the other.
That'd be great.
I would love that.
We could all put like a bungee cord in there. You run forward, you get pulled back.
There you go.
Well, pro tip for anybody out there actually buying a house: when the real estate agent goes, he knows it's a shitty ass neighborhood that the house is in.
I think he was just really having a hard time with our lifestyle and the fact we're going to be moving in there. And he really was afraid to tell me there weren't any blacks around.
Well, it was perfect because right when he said it, I want to commend you on that, Kyle. As soon as he said, it's great for the man and for the woman, and then you just jumped right in there. I got my partner on the line.
And he completely changed his way of describing the house. Oh, it's got the double shower, lots of, what did he say, lots of scented oils or something?
It had bad body washes or something in the shower.
Body washes.
Yeah.
I know you corners love that. You go out and scented oils and body washes.
Exactly, right?
My question in this house is, why is one of the bedrooms bigger than the master almost? Like, there's the master bedroom was 15 by 22, but bedroom 3 is 32 by 11, dude. That's a big motherfucking room.
32 by 11 is a long, narrow room.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not doing much with that.
This room right here I'm in.
11 is 4 steps.
I think it's 8 by 12.
This room's not much bigger. I think it's 12 by 15 or something.
Dude, this room is tiny, and I live in it. It's like, hi.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it. I'm right there with you.
New topic?
Well, I have a question for Woody. We were talking about internet. We mentioned it earlier in the show. Have you noticed, has Time Warner Cable increased your internet speeds again recently? Have they done that in
They haven't really increased it, but I do get about 10% more than I pay for. So,
okay.
I think they increased the price. It's creeped its way from like 65 to 90 over the last couple of years. And
how does the $30 increase creep its way?
it's like I don't know, like $5 this year, $8 that year, and all of a sudden, 4 years goes by and it's $30 more than it was before.
That's shitty.
Dude, I heard Time Warner Cable said they're unsure that people actually want faster internet speed.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm defending this idiot, because I definitely want faster internet speed, and everybody does. But what he said was twofold. One, if you had more download speed, you wouldn't really notice it. There'd still be websites, and I watch Netflix just fine. If I had a gigabit download, it'd be the same Netflix. And he said that people aren't buying the higher end packages. So, he's like, look, everyone buys the $20 a month package. What makes you think they want the gigabit package? And of course, we all laugh at how stupid he is, but we're kind of internet power users.
Well, I also say they buy the $20 package because it's affordable. If they could get more internet for their buck, they'd be, fuck yeah.
So I hear you, and it is affordable, but so he's there saying, like, man, why do I want to provide gigabit access when I've got a local monopoly and people won't pay extra for it?
Right, and that's exactly it.
I look forward to the day when internet is more like electricity. When I plug in something into an outlet, I get 120 volts because that's every single time, no matter what. And it's 100% of what my device needs to use. I want a gig. I feel like a gig is what all devices need.
I look forward to the day where I have more than I need. Right?
Yeah, I want more than I need. Exactly. I want to only occasionally need that crazy amount of power.
Right. Like, I'm not even exactly sure what the service is in my house. Like, I don't know how big the sub panel is, or the main panel outside or something. I do know that I could turn on everything. I'll be fine. With my internet, I can't say that. I can't say, like, I can upload a video and, play a video game at the same time. You know,
Yeah.
but that's not the kind of thing I worry about with my electricity. I want to get there with my network.
Yeah, I want to be able to live stream, upload a video, and play a video game at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'd like to finish a video, do a live stream while it's uploading, and play a game on that live stream. I should be able to do that.
While
And
somebody watching Netflix in another room. Just putting it out there.
Yeah.
I'm still with you. And that, like, in our world is not even an unreasonable scenario. Like, hey, well, I guess me making a video is unreasonable now. But, yeah, but I mean, the idea of uploading a video and uploading a video and streaming it at the same time is not that big a deal.
Woody, did you see the Game of Thrones season 4 teaser that was like 15 minutes long?
And
Yes.
This is the part where I go get something to drink.
Yeah. See you later.
Yep,
I
saw
liked
it.
that a lot. It looked great, right?
Wait, it was 15 minutes long?
Yeah, because there's a lot of interviews with the cast.
Right. Behind the scenes, they asked, like, are there any redeeming qualities to King Joffrey? And they're like, well, the actor that plays him has some redeeming qualities. Yeah, I saw that. It was
Yeah,
good.
it's really good. We got to see what the dragons are going to look like. We got to see that they've gotten big enough to be a serious contender.
And apparently, that is how Khaleesi is not OP, because her control over the dragons this season will be loose. They're dragons; they can't be tamed. Like, oh.
That just doesn't. But the old dragons were tamed. They keep telling us stories about how the guy, the Targaryen guy, would ride the dragons around and stuff. I want to see her ride those fucking dragons and burn people.
Me too.
That's what I want to see.
I want some
Lots
new
of people.
characters, some witches and warlocks introduced in this thing, and they can battle the dragon rider. Someone needs to shoot electric globes at her while she shoots flames down off the dragon.
I want the dragon
there's
I
some
want the
book
dragon to
reader.
burn large groups of people, like hundreds of people at a time as it flies over.
That sounds awesome. That's when does Game of Thrones come out?
April 6th, I think.
That still seems too distant for us
It
to be
seems
excited.
too far.
April 6th, one episode will come out because fuck you HBO. Whereas meanwhile tomorrow, House of Cards drops.
Really? It's
The
tomorrow.
entirety? They're doing that thing again, binge.
That's
release?
all they do, baby. They do it right.
Yeah, that's how Netflix rolls. It's all
Yeah.
their,
Now, has that been? Is there research that shows that is more? That's better for overall viewership, or
I've done research on my own. It's better.
right? It's better because you can sit down in your underwear one day and you watch it all.
Exactly. It's what I want, and I think everyone at this point to back off from that, there would be a rebellion. People would be like, "What? Once a week? That sucks. They don't want it."
Right.
Yeah,
So-
that's the problem with Game of Thrones. Like you said, it's going to be one of those things where we watch 50 minutes of this awesome show, and of course the season premiere is going to be tons and tons of build up and really not much payoff.
But wait,
It's going to
in that thing that we just both talked about, they said that this season a lot happens. Like it moves along the storyline far more than it has in previous years.
Yes, they did.
Now I don't know. Maybe I'm not the only person who's made that criticism. Because
I found out that season 1 was the first book, season 2 was the second book, season 3 was only half of the third book, and so season 4 completes the third book. So it's almost better to think of seasons 3 and 4 as a 2-part book, maybe.
I hopefully the second half of the book is where stuff happens, because I watched the entire year 3, and the White Walkers walked like 15 feet.
Yeah, they really did. Like they walked across a pond or something, and that was it. Like I want to see armies. I want to see armies fighting, and I want to see people burning.
Yes. Yeah, they really did. They walked like across a pond. It's
Yeah,
been
it
a
wasn't
year.
far at all. I'm looking
It's-
forward to it though. It's going to be good. And unfortunately, the blonde, I can't remember her name, the actress's name, but the Khaleesi isn't going to be nude anymore, from what I understand.
Oh, that started last year.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, clearly. If the part or the audience calls for nudity, then there should be nudity, right? She
She gets nude a lot. Like I could understand the nudity when she was like when she was in the funeral pyre when she burned, and obviously all of her clothes would burn off. But she's always hopping out of a bathtub, just titties everywhere. I want
These are a
tasteful
few of
nudity.
my favorite things.
Yeah, and there's a lot of nudity in Game of Thrones. That's one of the things that I like so much about it.
Absolutely. There's lots of death. There's lots of nudity. Yeah, I'm pretty much sold.
Yeah.
Yeah. These guys literally left during Game of Thrones talk.
Yeah, totally. I can't.
I had to pee. What?
Have you ever watched it, either of you gentlemen?
Oh wait, I have a related topic.
Okay.
Lefty is watching Breaking Bad now. And he's so goddamn hipster that he's knocking on Breaking Bad as being not good.
It was a joke. It was a joke. I know you're. Yes, no. I am watching Breaking Bad, and it's good, and I don't feel at all that the show has been ruined for me, even though I watched the finale episode. I mean,
Oh wow.
because but if you watch the story at all,
I don't know how to
realize that that you realize how it has to end, right? Just like when you're watching The Sopranos. If they didn't pull that bullshit out of their ass, you knew that it had to end one of two ways for Tony Soprano. You knew that in season 2.
Yeah.
Like, when this series comes to an end, Tony Soprano is either going to be in dead or finally in prison. That's the only way this can end. But
I don't agree. I did not know
I
how
wanted
it was
Tony-
going to end.
I
Most
thought
of the
Tony.
years.
Yeah, I thought there was a third option where Tony escapes, and I've said it before. I wanted the season finale of Sopranos to be like Tony, heading to Russia where all of his money's kept, and maybe doing something in the Russian mob. I don't know, but all of his money's in Russia. That's where he should be. They should just black out the screen and say we're done now. That was bullshit.
right. But oh wow, Wings really does not like Game of Thrones.
You
But
think Wings doesn't like Game of Thrones talk?
when you start off a character with lung cancer, really not many places you can go with that. And but no, I'm watching it, and I every time I said that the show was an overrated piece of shit, it was a joke because I never really saw the show. But I'm watching it now, and I'm liking it, and I can see very much why people enjoy it so much. And it's a damn good show.
And pay attention to how well it's filmed. I mean, they do so much with their boom shots, and I mean, there are things in the reflections that they intentionally put in there for you. It is really, really well filmed.
Mm-hmm. I'm very enjoying it. The cinematography.
Exactly.
It's very good.
Back on the cable thing. So Time Warner looks like it's going to be bought by
Comcast.
Yep.
Can we call it a monopoly now? It's not an oligopoly. It's a
it's a local monopoly for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a Time Warner customer, and all I want to know is, am I going to get faster internet? That's just when will this end? How will I don't even have bad internet now, like especially for normal use. The 50 down I have is fine. Like I want gig down, of course, but it's the 5 up. The 5 up is limiting. That's old school stuff. It's too small.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That upload is I don't know if it's going to happen. The merger hasn't even gone through. The FCC, in my cursory research, is the only agency standing between this merger happening, and they have the power to nix it and say no. This will create an effective monopoly on broadband providers, et cetera, et cetera. But because if you look at maps of Comcast service areas and Time Warner service areas, they don't really overlap at all. Mm-hmm. And that's a feather in the cap of any FCC lobbyists or lobbyists for the FCC going to the FCC for Time Warner and Comcast who say, look, it's not a monopoly because they're not really competing with each other, Time Warner and Comcast. So it's not really anti-competitive, even though when you go another level out and you realize, well, Comcast and Time Warner in those regions are really the only game in town, and now those two separate entities are going to be one, and there's going to be one thing controlling one game in town for many, many areas that I would argue is anti-competitive. But
So
They can
I
say
think
that.
what it is, they're local monopolies, but the situation won't get worse. They'll just still be local monopolies. You know, and to a customer who had no choice before and has no choice after, it doesn't make a difference. I don't know. I think I want government internet. I'm done with this private business stuff. I mean, clearly the goal of a private business is to charge as much as they can for as little as they can. And I've been seeing it forever, and it's not working. This local monopoly private business thing is crap. I'm ready to go Democrat style on this and have government internet. You with me, Kyle?
Yep.
I'm one step ahead of you.
Because to me, internet seems like something that once you've got the infrastructure laid down, which is the big part of that, it seems, is the fiber. Like it's kind of there, you know. The government helped out when we were originally pioneering electricity and the phone system. I think the internet needs to go the same way, and it just doesn't. We're falling behind. The United States is falling way behind with our internet, and it's embarrassing. So whatever it takes to do it, I'm in full support of.
I'm gonna go a step further. I'd like to see two competing police forces. I want 911 and 912, and I want them to compete for my speeding tickets.
But you see, that gets back to the argument, though, that Woody makes, which is a very good argument, that capitalism and the idea of competition for dollars or for service or for anything doesn't necessarily work for some things. For others, it's good, but like healthcare and the idea of a free
Security.
market, the idea of that, right? But if they went the complete other way with internet, and they treated it like a utility, like power, and there isn't really a competition. There's no competition for power, as I understand it. Like when you go to an area, whoever the power company is there, that's it. You don't get power from anywhere else. But they allow that monopoly. The government does, but they mandate. Look, Edison or whomever else, whatever's providing the power for this town or this area, you have to provide this to all these people. You've got to provide it, and you're responsible for it. But that's not the case. That's not the case with the internet system we have now. The FCC says, well, the minimum is, I believe, 3 down, 1 up, or 3 down, half a megabit up, or 500 kilobits.
I got 0.2 upload, Lefty.
But I don't. Maybe they don't even do down or up. Maybe it's just down, 3 megabits down. But they say, look, you can operate as a regional monopoly, but there's no mandates for what you have to provide to people out in in these areas. There's no mandates for bandwidth and for speeds and all this stuff. And if either you go to a place where you say no, we're gonna break up these regional monopolies, or we are going to allow municipalities to get into the game with the private public hybrid that Google is doing all over the place.
Well, Lefty,
or we're gonna make it a utility.
Before you get too far in this, let me ask you this: what about regional monopolies that it doesn't make sense to have competition because the region's so small?
What do you mean?
Like say you're a regional monopoly in a town such as Aner, which might have 500 people. There's no reason for another person to open up shop because there's not enough. There's not enough money there to justify having a competitor.
Okay. So I mean, it's not like you're not going to allow people, unless there's competition. You can't be in the internet service provider business, but I mean, those towns still have power, don't they? I mean, in that case, treat it like a utility.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think there should be government mandates that and they should be increased, just like minimum wage. Government mandates minimum wage, and if you let businesses run with minimum wage, they'd be paying Mexicans $2 an hour to cook burgers. But they're not. They get $7 an hour. Even then, I consider that low, but it's better than what it could be.
I just read that Google is working on 10 gigabit internet speeds.
How about they just get gigabit out to everybody? Google, stop.
Yeah.
Get it out to us first, please.
Google has a good Google's like, we can do 10 gigabits, and you're getting 5 up. You're getting fucked.
Yeah. Google's like 5? We can give you 10,000. How ridiculous is that?
Oh my god, I want it so bad. I mean, I'm good with what I have now, but if I ever move to
You have 10 up?
streaming, I pay for 10 up, but I get like 20 because I complained.
Let me ask you this, Lefty. If you could get Google Internet or brand new BMW 5 Series,
Google
would you
Internet.
go,
Google
you go
Internet.
Google?
Google Internet. I get a second PC, Google Internet, and I'd stream 1080p, 60 frames per second at 20 megabits per second.
You heard it first. Lefty cares more about you than himself.
Oh well, I mean, but that's the thing. Like I tell my stream that all the time because I can feasibly do a 1080p stream. I can stream in 1080p at 60 frames per second. And I can put all the tags on in Twitch and say 1080p, 60 frames per second, and then the content I create from streams would be 1080p, and I could put that in the title for all my DayZ stuff and new games, and if I do live streamed Let's Plays of stuff, you can do 1080p, which for those of you that don't know, that's a good thing to have in the business of YouTube, to be able to say,
Have you
hey,
ever thought
you can
about
watch
lying,
everything.
Lefty? It's a good market.
No, but you can't. No.
Look, Microsoft does it.
Yeah, but why lie? But so
Because you could look at your stream. If you told me your stream was 1080 at 60 frames per second, I would believe you because it's close enough.
Yeah, but it's not. But if 1080 and 720, if you look at actual true 720 and true 1080, you're going to see a difference. And I could do it with my PC, which is one PC, but I have to downgrade the how much the CPU asserts itself in encoding the video. So while
I think you're thinking too much. There's been a million videos I made that said I was the best Call of Duty player ever.
Yeah, when in fact I am.
Yeah, well, you thought your truck was awesome too, but
Man, my truck kicks ass. It's the best one in the world.
Not it's whatever. Second best on PKA.
My truck would run over yours. It's faster and it's bigger.
Your truck ain't shit. Get out of here.
My truck was pulling trees off the road. Yours is sitting in the driveway this week.
So you're just running around in the snow, just hitting people like helping you.
Yeah, that was the reality of that situation.
Wings was going out looking for people to hit, but
It's like my brush guard is bent from ramming people.
But I could do that, but reducing the CPU on my PC there's artifacting, and it looks like shit to me. And I would rather have a 720p stream that's crisp and clean
Lefty.
than have one that has a lot of artifacting. So
My stream looks like shit.
Yeah, but I want my stream to
look like shit.
Right, but I want to be able to say 1080, but have it not look like shit. Like I could do a 1080 stream and say, look at 1080, look at 1080, and there would be artifacting, but it would technically be 1080, and I would technically be right, but it's bullshit because it looks like crap to me.
And I
wouldn't want to watch.
Wings would have the 720 stream that looks good, and I would say it was 1080. If somebody called me on my bullshit, I would ban them instantly. Set a precedent.
If you're not streaming in 1440p, then you kind of suck. Just saying.
but and then also when you up the stream to 1080 and you maintain the frame rate, I've got to have more. I've got to be able to send 20 at that point, and I just can't do that right now with my internet. So I need Google. I need the gigabit. I need the gigabit upload, and I need no cap on that bandwidth, so I can send all the data. And then I need Twitch to be able to handle it, which I don't know. That might be a thing.
Do you need a new topic?
Sure.
I have a couple to choose from. Letters of Last Resort, Serial Mascot Battle Royale, or 20 Seconds of Courage. Or we could even call a stranger.
What's 20 Seconds of Courage?
All right. It was a Reddit question, and they asked this. I'm waiting for it to come up. What is your best 20 Seconds of Courage story?
20 seconds. Like, can I get a for instance from Reddit?
Well, here's the top-rated comment. I was leaving my friend's room, headed back to mine, when I saw this girl I had a huge crush on. We'd only spoken a few times previously, but God, she was beautiful in every sense of the word. She was alone in a study room and walked by and saw me looking at her, smiled and waved. I kept walking, and I thought, it only takes 20 seconds to introduce myself. So I turned around and went into the study room and started talking to her. Now, I was scared shitless she was going to say something about having to work on her essay or politely ask me to leave so that she could work, but she didn't. We ended up talking for an hour and hanging out later that night. 4 to 6 weeks later, we're seeing each other, and that was almost 2 years ago, and we're still together. But I'll never forget the 20 seconds started it all.
But see, my stories, I've told my stories like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, it's my threat. I've told all my stories. One guy pulled his friend's pilot chute in the middle of a free fall because he was tangled up and couldn't do it himself.
Wow,
That's cool.
That's pretty ballsy.
20 seconds of courage sounds like the night I lost my virginity.
I this is gonna be well, no, screw the self-doubt. Fuck self-doubt. I told a cop no once. And I think that took courage.
What was it about? Let's frame the story up. Come on.
Well, hold on. I gave you the teaser, and now I'm gonna go back and tell you the whole story. It was in college, and we were moving out of this house that we had, and we were moving out because the landlord had it condemned, or had it condemned as a means to get the people out that were living there, and I was one of them, and but the way they did it like over a long break. And so I got a call from the one guy I was living with, and was like, "Yeah, dude, we've got apartments all set up, but we're gonna have to move out." And I said, "Well, I've got a lot of stuff. Like I've got my TV, and a lot of clothes that I left down there because I just I was in college and I went back home for a break." And he said, "Well, yeah, they kind of said that we're gonna have 3 days in a week to move it, and then after that it's done." And I said, "Well, I can't make it down at that time because there was stuff going on. I think I had a job or something." And I said, "Well, I can't make it down for the time frame." He said, "Well," so I called the landlord. I said, "Well, hey, I can't make it down, but I need to go be able to get my stuff." And the guy essentially said, "Nope. If you can't make it down in these 3 days, we're gonna close off the house. Everything that's in there that was yours is now mine." And I said, "No, that's not how it's gonna work." So I had to get my dad involved, who is an attorney, and he called and he said, "Well, just go over there now. There's going to be somebody to meet you." Well, apparently they didn't let the person know that I was coming. It was an administrative call, and then there was somebody at the house who didn't know. And I show up and I'm like, "Well, I'm getting my stuff." And they were like, "Oh, well, you're not supposed to be here." I said, "Screw you. This is my property. I'm taking it back. You can't just say, 'Oh, well, I own this now.'" And so I was moving out, and they called the cops. And the cop showed up, and he was asking me questions, and he wanted my ID, and I gave it to him. And then he said, "Can I search your car?" And I said, "No." And I felt it was courageous to me because I was that's the belly of the beast. That guy right there at that moment in time had the arrest authority. He had the gun, the handcuffs, everything. Everybody talks, it's nice to talk about how here are your rights during a traffic stop, here's what you can say no to, and all these things. But it actually takes, when you're in the moment and you realize that here is the embodiment of somebody who can exact serious consequences on me if I screw up somehow or do something he doesn't like, and I said no, and I said I don't consent to that search, and there was a little bit of bluster there, but eventually he gave it up, and it took about it was 20-30 seconds, but my adrenaline was going the whole time, and I was like, oh man, this guy can seriously screw
I've done
me
this
up.
too much then.
Well, but that's why I view those videos, where those guys get a lot of crap from neckbeards on Reddit, where it's like, "Am I being detained?" is the joke. But people that make those videos, not the guys that go out like Kyle talked about earlier, I'm going to exercise my Second Amendment rights. I'm going to take my carbine into Walmart or to McDonald's. But people that are being stopped by Border Patrol inside New Mexico or in Arizona, and they say, "No, you're not. I'm not stopping. You're not searching me. I'm not going to answer your question whether I'm a U.S. citizen." That takes balls.
It
because
does
those
take
guys
balls.
can fuck you
It
up
does.
if they want.
I did it yesterday. Well, not 2 days ago.
Wait, do you go out looking for trouble with?
Yeah.
No. This one came to me. You want to hear the story?
Sure.
Let that be your 20 seconds of courage then.
It could be. Well, my sister's been going into this thing with cocaine. We obviously have talked about it. So a cop comes and wants to talk to her about her former boyfriend. And he punks my mother. My mother goes and he says, "You can't be here. You go away." And my mother had to go to work anyway, so she left. And then my Aunt Harriet goes over and he won't let her talk. He won't let her be on the porch while he talks to her. So he sends her off, and she's obviously scared of the police and gets intimidated easily. So I go over there. He's like, "Sir, you can't be here." I'm like, No. You can't be here. First off, this is a minor. She is 17 years old. She's under the legal limit. Second off, this is my personal property. I own this thing, which you do not have my permission to be on here. Third off, this is my property. I can be anywhere the fuck I want to be on it, as long as I'm not interfering with your ability to ask her questions. I can do whatever I want. I can stand there and do jumping jacks. And I'm asking you to leave. And he had to leave.
There you go, Wings.
Can be real douchebags, man. And the cops will lie to you about your rights. Here's the law I want. I want it to be against the law for a cop to tell me something, to lie to me about the law. The cop should not be able to lie to me about the fucking law or mislead you or any of that bullshit and try to trick you like that and try to take advantage of you.
This guy was a total asshole. She was sitting there crying. He was scaring her with threats to going to jail. I'm like, Taylor don't know what to do. She's going to say some shit she's going to regret. She
should probably tell him where her cokehead boyfriend is, though.
Well, they're trying to say she's a part of it and all this other mess. I'm like, no, if you want to get those questions, we're going to lawyer you up. Please go away.
Yeah, exactly. Like right or wrong, that's what you did is right.
Yeah. I'm like, you can't tell me where I can be on my property. You're coming up here without my permission.
Yeah. I've got a story similar to that, but 20 Seconds of Courage, I'm having a hard time with this one. So the way I'm built is that, let's say it's driving a race car or jumping off of a tower into the water or some crazy stunt that I need to do or I want to do for some reason. I'm really scared of it, and even when I'm about to do it, I'm still really scared of it. It terrifies me. But some part of me is just like, all right, this is the part where you're going to push yourself off the edge now, and gravity's going to take over, and you're going to be fine probably. Let's do this. And I don't know if that's courage or not. It's just me saying, fuck it, here we go.
It all depends if you do it right. If you do it wrong, it's stupidity.
But one of them that popped into my head, I've been out of high school for almost 10 years now, and I met someone the other day, that I went to high school with, and he brought up something that I had forgotten. He was like, I remember when we built that race car in school, and everybody was scared shitless of it, and you drove that thing like a boss down that hill going like 60 miles an hour. And I was like, yeah, I did do that. We built this fucking race car out of like sheet metal and aluminum, and we built it from the ground up, and then we wedged my ass into that motherfucker and pushed it down the steepest asphalt hill you've ever seen with no brakes. And everybody was terrified.
What was going through your mind when you did something like that? Like
that I didn't give a fuck.
You just didn't give a shit. Like, I'm going to get in this motherfucking whatever happens, happens.
Well, it was one of those things where, like, I was upset that everybody was being such a pussy about the whole thing. Everybody was scared to
You were literally upset, physically upset that they were pussies.
Yeah, I was like, grown. We weren't grown men, but at the time I was thinking, like, men shouldn't be standing around and all of us are being pussies about this thing, about who's going to do it. We all know that somebody's going to do it. Let's just get this shit over with. Let's have some fun. And so I also, he mentioned, he's like, and then the second time you went down, you told us to pour all that nitrous racing fuel on it. What was that about? And I was like, yeah. So, we set the car on fire and then put me in it and pushed it down the hill. So, I don't know. We'll call that my 20 Seconds of Courage, driving a car with no brakes that I made in shop class down a very steep hill about 3/4 of a mile long while it was on fire at night.
Nice.
Wore a helmet, though.
So, did everybody go but me?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm stuck. I've been telling stories on YouTube for like 5 years now.
Don't feel bad. Mine was going to be the Melter story until the cop thing came up.
But I hit a guy once, more than once, but this particular one I liked. His name was Howard, and he was bigger than me. He was probably like 6'4" or something like that, had blonde hair. There was something dorky about him, but I was fit but but smaller than him. And he picked on me, like mild picking on, like the sort of thing you can almost look the other way. Like he used to walk up to me and he'd go like this to my shoulder, "Chop of the morning to you," and it was like, like do you get in a fight over that? I don't know, but he was just always like pushing the boundaries. One day on my locker, someone scratched the word "fag" on it. I'm not even sure who did it. I always suspected it was him. I'm not even sure whoever did it knew it was my locker. I mean, they all look the same. There's thousands of them at this school. There are about 1,000. So, but I was like, son of a bitch. Now my locker says fag on it. Isn't that a thing? And one day he said something. I don't even remember what set me off. But at the end of gym class, the guys that all shower up or whatever, and then you're outside waiting to be released to go to your next class for this bell to ring. And while you're there, everyone was kind of shoulder to shoulder, whatever, and I think he pushed me or exerted some sort of physical dominance type thing, and I wasn't having it, and I pushed him back, and we squared off, and it was glorious. I had just watched like Olympic boxing trials or something like that the day before on TV. And this guy threw this right cross where he kind of ducked his head down and threw the cross at the same time. And I don't know, I saw it, and they showed the slow-mo of it again and again. I started, like, shadow boxing it. And sure enough, like, I had good form on one particular right cross. And, like, we square up, and he was wearing a white T-shirt that day, which was beautiful, because my right cross connected with his nose so perfectly. And then it starts bleeding, like, the blood is just gushing down. His mouth is, like, covered with it. And he got it on his white T-shirt. And there really wasn't a ton of fight. I clearly won, but why I really clearly won, because like after the punch or two, it maybe turned into like a stand-up wrestling type thing, and then it got broken up. But he walked around the school for the rest of the day with blood down the front of his shirt. He lost. So
that's how high school fights go. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, who's asserting more dominance. For the most part, if someone's hurt more than the other one, if there's more blood coming out of that guy,
you can win that entire fight, Kyle. But if you got the black eye, you lost.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
Yeah, and I think I did win. I think anyone impartial watched it would say that. But just the fact that one shot connected with his nose so cleanly and made it bleed. That was the score I needed, and
I saw a smaller guy who was like maybe 5'10" hit a guy that was like 6'3", but he got the first hit, and it wasn't one of those things where they were squared off. They had squared off, then separated, and then the little guy was like, you know what, fuck that guy, and like got a running start and came back and nailed the guy in the eye, and then they kind of wrestled around a little bit and it was broken up, but it was like, holy shit, Ben just beat up Dylan. Ben was like half his fucking size, and he didn't beat him up. If they kept going, Dylan probably could have killed Ben. Mm-hmm. But Dylan was the one with the awful black eye.
Go Ben. Ben won. Score's posted.
I thought Woody was going to tell the story where he beat up the girl.
Let's leave that one there for people who don't know it. Let's just let that one hang out there. Yeah. Sometimes I do that. Don't fuck with me. I'll kick your dog's ass.
So who's excited for the Titanfall beta?
I am.
I'm so pumped. Are you going to be playing it on PC or?
I don't know. I got so many codes. You get out of here with your damn.
Do you really have some codes?
I got a PC and an Xbox code, yeah.
Oh, okay.
How'd you get a PC code?
I asked for it.
Damn it. I'm going to try to work into getting a PC code. I think I want to play it on the PC because I'm not sure I'm even going to buy one of the next-gen consoles now. I just can't wrap my head around it. I think I want to go full PC. Just embrace the PC master race. Get it over with. Enjoy just outstanding graphics and controllability.
Ultra smooth gameplay.
And lose the interface that I prefer, which is more of a laid-back casual thing, but whatever. I'd rather see the best version of the games I play than a subpar version.
I think the console makers didn't get ambitious enough when they did their
I agree.
stuff.
I agree. I think that's a decision at Sony over cost, though, because they would have had to bump their price tag another $250.
Sony as a company is fucked. I don't know if people know how messed up Sony is. Like their debt, they issue bonds and stuff so they can continue operations. They're junk bonds at this point. They've been downgraded to junk. That's how bad Sony is. They lose money.
They're broken up into a couple of like subsidiaries or whatever, right? Like there's like Sony Music and maybe which maybe falls under Sony Entertainment. There's a lot of Sony. You know, the guy. It
There
seems
is.
like the guys who are making decisions about like the MP3 players aren't this, and the TVs aren't the same guys making the decisions about Lady Gaga's music.
Yeah, so the PS4 is doing well. It's one of the only like bright notes in a company that's getting crushed. So, but maybe that doesn't matter. Like,
Let me ask you this: do you think there's going to be a video game crash?
No.
Like I see video games are getting so expensive that it has to crash.
I'm a little worried because I'm hearing even more from Microsoft. Like we heard maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I'm hearing more grumblings from people that are wanting to get rid of the Xbox.
I don't know. I feel like not PCs. I feel like gaming is becoming a bigger part of their culture all the time. Gaming was something you were embarrassed to do even just 10 years ago. And now gaming
Being part of
is
the culture
achieving.
doesn't make it.
I'm sorry, what?
Being part of the culture doesn't make it monetarily
It
feasible.
does. Gaming is now achieving a respect almost on par with watching television, which is not to say like it's some really respected activity, but it's something that everybody does.
Yeah, it has graduated from something that your children do on Saturday morning to something that maybe that it's perfectly reasonable for a 25-year-old man to do in his spare time.
Right. Yeah. Every pro athlete is a gamer. Every kid is a gamer. Lots of people you work with are gamers, and it's like I won't knock you for your interest in television or gardening, and you won't knock me for my interest in gaming. People do stuff, and it's I don't see gaming falling off like Wings suggested.
I was more talking about like eventually it's going to have to go backwards, because now they're on the par of like summer blockbuster movies, and there's so much invested in companies that one game can make and break an entire company.
I hear you, but I could make the counter arguments too. Like what is that game? Lefty's gonna know it for sure. Gary's Mod, right? All the Gary's Mod stuff, the Minecraft stuff. There are lots of
but those are a
games.
step backwards for AAA games. Like obviously they make a lot of fucking money. Like Flappy Bird made a lot of money. But I'm talking about Flappy
That's a
Bird.
different game.
I want to play that game.
I just played that game.
I'm talking about games like Dead Space 3. I'm talking about games like Thief, which is coming up, and Titanfall, AAA games that people expect to push the boundaries for graphics, the engine, the sound design. All this has to keep being pushed, but eventually the money has to go up too, and that's not happening.
I don't see that being the direction that gaming is pushing. I feel like blockbuster games are so 2012. The new thing is the Minecraft. The new thing is the Gary's Mod. The new thing is some game from who makes Death Spank? Is it Penny Arcade? I don't remember.
I don't.
But there's lots of games with clever dialogue where the voice acting is funny. That sort of thing to me is the new popular gaming. I was talking to CNanners about Titanfall. Gosh, I hope this doesn't reflect negatively on him. But I was like, what do you think of the game? And it was like 80-20. 80% of the people were like, oh my god, this is so fantastic. I can't wait to play this. It's the new great shooter in the planet or in the multiverse, whatever. But CNanners was like, I was looking at it trying to find those laugh out loud hilarious moments that I'll have with my friends. And this game isn't that. Just like COD isn't that. There are a
My
lot.
response to... I'm sorry, finish.
There are a lot of people in the gaming space who also look for the same moments that CNanners has. Like, where are the funny crescendos that a Borderlands might bring you, or where, I don't know, where's that experience? Where's the hilarious interactions? Where's the fun in it, right? Because some people don't think of gaming as a amateur sport, and I'm just seeing more and more people do gaming as just a fun activity.
Yeah, there's always going to be that. There's going to be both, and there's that aspect to everything. There's guys who play softball that are so fucking serious about it that you don't want to play softball with them. And there's the same is true.
And they don't want to
video
play
games.
with you, I bet.
And they don't want to play with me. No, they don't. Slow pitch my ass. We're here for reals. But
You better bring that shit.
and I'll preface this by saying I've watched 3 T. Martin videos and maybe 3 from 3 other different people, and it's alpha footage. I've got high hopes for this thing. I really do. Now that I've seen it and seen what the deal is, obviously I haven't touched it, I haven't laid hands on it, but it looks good, and I like the way it looks. And we're seeing such a small slice of the pie that I'm hoping is Titanfall. I like the free running aspect. I like that the sniping is more like Halo than it is like Call of Duty. I like the variety of weapons. I like the balance between the pilots and the Titans. I like that since it's 6v6, they threw in
The AI.
AI. They throw in some AI grunts in there, and I think maybe some AI Titans as well. Maybe wrong about that. And I envision there's going to be some cool game modes that involve the AI. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of maybe horde mode or something like that. There's definitely going to be some modes where, it's probably you versus just bots or something like that, and maybe you try to get a high score or something like that. I think this game's got a lot of potential. I hope they take advantage of all that they've done here, because it looks great. It looks great. For alpha footage, looks great.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know how they were going to balance the Titans, which are, for the uninitiated, those gigantic mechanized suits with quadruple rocket launchers on each on your arm, with a guy who's literally just running around on the ground. But it seems to me like I saw a lot of footage of pilots killing Titans. It seems like you just hop on their back, break open some hatch back there, and let them have it. The trick is sneaking up on them, I suppose.
Yeah, and you can shoot them from windows and stuff like that. Like I was having an easy time killing Titans as a pilot when I was indoors. You pop out a window, you fire your shot. I think it takes 3 shots. Well, I could have that wrong. And then you get out of the window and you do your reload animation, which is like 10 seconds long. And you show up in the window and you shoot him again. Typically that Titan's occupied with something else. He's not sitting there camping the window waiting for your ass to show up again.
Yep.
And you can hop on them, right? And you pull out like a piece of their armor, and you just start shooting the inside.
Yeah, you hop on, you pull out a piece of armor, and then there's like a soft bunch of wires or something you can shoot.
Serious design flaw.
I personally succeeded doing that like 1 time in 10. Because it seemed like every time I hopped on someone's back, there was another Titan there to sort of shoot me off. Or sometimes I'd go to hop on their back, and I wasn't as sneaky as I thought I was. And you can turn invisible, but you can't, it's like a perk, in COD speak. So you don't always have it, and or not, you don't always have it set up. So, yeah, it's balanced, but hopping on a Titan's back and killing them that way is dangerous activity.
I see.
If you're playing against a team, someone will probably kill you.
Since this thing's coming from EA, right? That's the publisher?
It's published by EA, yeah.
Yep.
Does that mean we can expect those horrible, annoying microtransactions?
You know what?
Wait. Didn't they specifically call out no microtransactions?
I think they might have.
Look, I'll say this. I know a lot of people, and I bet it's younger people, don't feel the same way about me, but don't feel the same way as I do. But I hate the microtransactions in Call of Duty. I just noticed that now there's a price pack where you can look like Lieutenant Price from the game. I think he's a lieutenant, right? Yeah, Lieutenant Price. That's such bullshit. Fuck that shit. Fuck that. I hate that. I hate that they're selling that for $5 and it costs nothing. It's just nothing. It's something they should have thrown in there because, hey, remember this guy from the other $60 games you've bought throughout the fucking years? Yeah, we're just gonna throw him in here for fun because you guys are real fans. It's bullshit. You're making your closest, biggest. You're making your most devoted fans. Pony up another $3 or $4 for some bullshit. Making the dog look like a wolf.
I definitely don't mind them putting other things for sale. What I didn't like though is that they weren't included in the season pass. When I got a season pass, I thought I had that year's DLC, and then later I find out oh no, you got some of this year's DLC. I'm like, what? I thought that wasn't the deal we had. Now you want me to pay $15 for camos on a gun when I already paid $50 for a year's worth of DLC? I thought we were buds. And that
I'm just gonna point out the flaw in this. Kyle, didn't you pay $15 to $20 to win at Dead Space 3?
Oh, I'll pay it, man. I mean, I will pay it. See, the problem is it's so tempting, and it's connected to my bank account or my PayPal account. I don't remember how I have it done. So you literally just press the A button to continue, and it's easy to forget. Oh, it's just $3, and then look at my email, and my email there's like 8 emails in a row like confirming your Microsoft purchase. And I'm like, shit, I spent $32 watching TV last night.
I'll talk about my Minecraft server. So WoodyCraft.net, best goddamn Minecraft server in the multiverse. When we launched, we had like 4 game modes, and now I don't even know how many we have, but I'll call it. I don't know. We have like 50 JVMs, but they're not all separate games. Anyway, when we add new games, the rank you bought back in 2012 applies to the next game. Like, that's the deal. Like, you should know that you got good value for that. And when a new thing comes out, you'll get even more value. Like I almost think of like which Minecraft server you decide to like buy a rank from. You need to have a certain faith, right? There are some Minecraft servers who just kind of spawn in, take all your money, and then vanish off the planet. It happens all the time. The other Minecraft server owners are like, this guy's done this. This is his 3rd one. That's the 3rd server this guy's set up and taken down. WoodyCraft's not like that. But when you buy a rank, it should be a great value and a value that gets better all the time. When Infinity Ward does it, like you buy a season pass, it's always a hook or a stepping stone, or it's not complete. Like I don't want to be constantly buying new stuff. It should be included in my deal. That's the thing. I feel like they're not trying to make me. They're not giving me more stuff for free all the time, which is what we do at WoodyCraft. So,
yeah, EA is. Never mind. It's really frustrating. Don't like microtransactions, and I've got high hopes for Titanfall. I'm really looking forward to this thing. My plan, it's a loose plan, but it's kind of to transition to Titanfall away from Call of Duty this year. I don't think I'm going to be playing much more Call of Duty ever. It's just got. I think I'm
right
about
there
done.
with you, Kyle.
Yeah.
I feel like Call of Duty has been dumbed down a lot, and it's a fun game to play, but there's lots of fun games to play. I liked Call of Duty because it rewarded me for all the countless hours I was investing in it, and all the time I would spend when I wasn't playing it researching it. I literally did Call of Duty research in my spare time.
Oh yeah, my channel started as that, a place for research. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what the rate of fire on a COD 4 M16 is. It's and information like that is worthless now.
Ken
nobody,
Dirksen, right?
Yeah, that guy was a fucking pioneer, putting that shit out there for everybody, or for the people who knew how to find it.
Yep. Oh no. Well, let me see if I can bring this back. I don't know why that happened. Hey.
Hello. Hey. I don't know what happened.
Did you guys drop too, or was it just
me? Everybody dropped.
Yeah, it like restarted the call or something. That's weird.
Yeah, I'm not used to that. Okay. So I think Kyle needs a fresh invite.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what. Are we still recording?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have no camera.
That's
it.
Fine.
Rest of the show, no camera for me.
Good. I don't want to sick of looking at you anyways.
I tell you what I don't like about Ghost. The kill streaks fucking suck. I play Call of Duty for kill streaks, and once the kill streaks ran out, I might as well be playing Battlefield. I don't give a shit about 60 frames a second. I don't give a shit about how quick the guns kill.
Mm-hmm.
Take my good kill streaks away. Fuck you. I'm playing something else.
With COD Ghost, the thing that I struggle with is the maps. If you can't be successful, well, obviously some people can, but it's way harder to play the objective and run around in Ghosts than it was in previous games, and it's whatever. You drab colors, you giant maps, your camper-friendly game. I'm done. I'm out.
And the biggest the problem seems so easy to correct that you could correct them in alternate game modes. If you made a game mode like a TDM where you just increase the health by 20 points, that's all you got to do. It takes
That exists, I think.
They
Really?
do. It's called heavy duty.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe I should be playing some more COD.
It didn't fix anything.
No,
Well, that's a shame. I don't know. I liked it when there was a bit more recoil on there, and it was a bit. I don't need to come around a corner and have the firepower to kill 4 guys and then turn the corner and kill 4 more. I don't have to be able to do that. The guns can have fewer bullets, more recoil, and less damage, and that just means you got to be more accurate. That's the other part of that little ratio of how good you are at a game. It's the recoil and your accuracy and the damage your gun is doing and your character's health. You can't really change much more than that when it comes to shooting people in a video game, and I don't know. Wish they would.
You can't patch point, aim, and shoot.
No. So, I really am looking forward to Titanfall. I like everything I've seen so far, pretty much. And I'm hoping. How big are the maps, Woody?
Well, I only played 3, I think, and
Okay.
It's hard to say how big they are. They're like as big as Ghost maps, but you move faster.
Mm-hmm.
And have you ever played Left 4 Dead?
Yes,
You
a
have.
little.
That-
I've played it long enough to to move around. Yeah.
Okay, so when you play in versus mode, there's a character called the Hunter, and he's the guy that sort of screams and jumps on you. I don't know if you know him. Anyway, the Hunter has this ability where he can, like, if he jumps on a wall, he can jump off of it, and then if you're skilled, you can jump from wall to wall and get higher and higher and higher until you're like a predator missile almost, way up in the sky, jumping from the tallest buildings. And like when I play, I'm not a great Left 4 Dead player. There's great people out there. Like getting into position to attack the survivors is one of the more like tactical things that I need to do, and if I waddle up as a boomer or to sneak up as a jockey or a smoker, then that's one thing. With a Hunter, a great player can attack you from anywhere. It doesn't matter if you're on the other side of the building. He'll just wall jump, pounce over the building and do the 25 max points of damage from anywhere. Back to Titanfall, a similar dynamic kind of exists where there's this wall running, and you can go on forever so long as you jump from wall to wall to wall. And you can do those jumps, and then you've played video games where you can jump and then do one mid-air jump that gives you
Double jump.
Yeah, double jump. So as a pilot, you can double jump. And when you combine that wall running ability with the double jump, the people who are good at it are going to be doing ridiculous things.
Yeah.
Clearly there's some things that the game maker, like there's some paths that they put in there that are like meant to be done. Like, oh yeah, this is how you get in that window. You run off this wall, then you jump toward the window. But pros are going to be inventing new stuff, and they're going to be amazingly good at this game.
Yeah, I heard T. Martin comparing it to Mirror's Edge. So it's. I would like more parkour aspects built in. I hope that's one of the. So we've only seen it's alpha, and it seems like everything's really limited in the selection and the perks, if you will.
What does parkour mean?
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. I'm hoping there's like a parkour perk where you mantle things with more style, and you do things like parkour is like free running, like when people are running through urban environments and doing those flips and jumping from ledge to ledge and on building tops and doing all that crazy stuff. And I'm hoping there's maybe a perk that gives you some of that ability, maybe.
Let me give you this as an opinion. I've seen zero Titanfall footage. I have played Titanfall 0. I haven't even seen screenshots of Titanfall.
Oh dear.
But the stuff that you're explaining to me, I don't see a casual player being able to do, and a good player is going to shit all over them.
Oh, exactly. This is, dude. It takes the snipers are like Halo. You gotta you gotta get them in the head for a one-shot kill, twice in the body for a body kill. Except on the grunts, which was a great decision because the AI, if they were just as tough as people.
Here's my thing though, Kyle. Even though I hate it as much as everybody else, you got to be able to have somebody that has very little motor skills that picks the game up to be able to have some level of success.
You totally can. I mean, I haven't played the game. Look at me. But from what I've seen, from me watching T. Martin play and me watching some other people play, one of the guys I watched was just kind of camping in a building with a sniper rifle, and he was enjoying himself. It seemed like he was off in the distance, and he was kind of...
What happens when this dude runs against my team? Whoever that team might be. Like,
Well,
that's my question. Like, what happens to those players?
The same
Do they
thing that's
get
been
stomped
happening
on
for the
like
last
COD?
10 years. They get shit on, and they leave, and they find a new lobby, and hopefully there's some skill-based matchmaking.
Yeah. I wish there was skill-based matchmaking in Ghost. Like, I'd love to fight. I won't just face...
Hasn't there always been skill-based matchmaking? I
There's a
remember
little bit.
back in
There's
COD
a little
4,
bit.
we used to have a friend who was a private, and you're like, he's our lobby leader. That guy right
Yeah.
there.
Totally, yeah. And we would make new accounts just for that ability. And if one, we used to make new accounts all the time. It was a thing we did. We wanted to start over, see what we could do with our KDs, see what we could do. And also at that time it was kind of a fresh new thing. So like people would literally think you were a noob. They would think you were a level 14, and then you just shit on them, and it'd be funny. But yeah, whenever you made that new account, whoever had the newest account would be your lobby leader. You know, you get that guy who's a level 10 or 12, then you go into search and destroy, and it's go time.
I don't know. I wish that all I could face was full parties. I wish that was the thing. Just check. I want nothing but full parties. I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite. There's a lot of COD guys out there that hate that shit. They just want to beat up on people that are subpar.
I like a
Depends
little
on
bit
of see, you are a full party. When I played Modern Warfare 2 and some of Black Ops, I rolled with teams that were strong. Right, I'm not going to say stronger or weaker than yours, but good players. You know, Onslaught, Bendro, and we'd just go into every game knowing that this probably wasn't going to be competitive. Now I play solo a lot, and if I run into a party like I used to roll with, it's a rough experience.
I don't like beating up on people that are playing solo. I don't. I mean, I used to back when all I cared about was getting the biggest kill to death ratio there could be to put a YouTube video up. And all I wanted to do was that YouTube video. But when I actually play the game to play the game, I want to actually have to play the motherfucking game. I want to be like, look, dude, there's a motherfucker over here in the gift shop. You know, there's a guy in the gift shop. I want to be doing call-outs. I want to be playing the game. I don't want to be over there getting mad because I died 2 off of my shitty kill streak that's going to get me like 2 kills anyway. I want to be able to play in the game. I want to have to bust out the MSBS. I don't know. That's just me. Like, if I'm going to play COD and I'm good at it, just let me play the fucking game. That's why I like League Play so much.
I can't wait to play it. I really want to play Titanfall because people are streaming it right now, and I can't. I'm just like, I'm so angry at everybody that gets to play it early.
I'm gonna play
Even
it.
though they're console
it's gonna be
plebes, I
whatever.
don't care. I will watch console plebes play a game that I am incredibly interested in playing.
Did you just use the word plebes?
Yeah.
I got my Xbox One right here, just waiting on Titanfall.
I still can't get over how big that motherfucker is.
I got some dust in it, but yeah, it's here. I got it. I don't play it, but I got one.
Why don't you just like put it on Craigslist or something?
Because I want to play Titanfall.
Play that shit on PC, man.
I'm not playing it on. Last game I bought on PC was Metro Last Light, and I made it to about the Bandits level before I got tired of the crashing. And I told myself, never again will I buy another game on PC.
There's something wrong with your PC that shit keeps crashing all the time.
Yeah.
No, they patched it now. I mean, there was a patch that came out that fixed it.
Oh, it was a game issue.
Yeah.
Ah.
But like, when a game comes out, I want to be able to play the game then. Metro Last Light is hot the first week. It ain't hot week number 15.
I like the fact that they're having an alpha and a beta, and it's something where they're getting people involved with it.
Yeah,
and
but
Call of Duty hasn't done that since World at War.
Battlefield 4 had an alpha and a beta, and they're still getting fucked up and got stockholders all mad and shit. That don't mean nothing.
Well, I don't care about stockholders. Fuck them. I care about the game experience on.
I'm just saying it didn't help. I mean, they still released a buggy ass game.
It does. It definitely does help. I remember the beta. I played in the beta in COD 4. And there were a few broken guns, and they fixed them. COD 4, as many of you know, had some balance issues, and then in World at War they did it, and they fixed a lot of that bullshit where people were under maps and stuff before the game even launched.
Yeah, but see, with the game launched with Castle fucked up, Roundhouse was fucked up.
Roundhouse was really fucked up though in the beta.
Roundhouse.
You remember getting under the map on
You
that?
can still get under the map. I remember there was a search and destroy map where you started on top of where you needed to do the glitch under the map.
Yep.
It was such a pain in the ass.
You just ran to the right, and you, over there on the train tracks, you laid down prone, and you kind of crawled and wiggled your way under the map.
Yeah.
And you dropped down about 10 feet, and then you just stood there with your MP40 drum mag and waited on, and maybe popped off a shot every now and then, rang
You
the
could cover
dinner
the
bell.
A-bomb, the whole A-bomb. Like, everybody would always plant the A-bomb because you could cover it 100%.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of games having betas, whether they're open or closed. I would prefer an open beta where you just go
And
on
like
their
COD
website.
4, you could get into fucking Overgrown to this day.
Yeah,
They put the map into Modern Warfare 2 and you could still get into Overgrown.
yeah, but they didn't discover that glitch until pretty far into the game's life. That wasn't like when
They
in its
put Overgrown in
heyday.
Modern Warfare 2 and this glitch was still there. They didn't fix it.
That's fucked up. I wasn't aware that you could get under there still in Modern Warfare 2. I remember it in COD 4.
Here's a question: is it where is it on the spectrum of acceptability to charge people full price for early access to an alpha or beta stage game?
I don't like them to charge for it, but I have no problem if they do it through some sort of marketing ploy, like you buy 3 bags of Doritos and you get a code.
Okay, right.
I'm okay with that. Like, you buy a 12-pack of Mountain Dew, you get a code. But I don't want it to be like pay to play. I want as many people to be involved with it as possible, and I want it to be a mixture of the same type of people I'm going to be playing with when the game goes live. I don't want it just to be a bunch of guys like me playing it who aren't going to, who are going to play it seriously. I want a bunch of those little kids in there who just like to goof around and jump up and down and try to stack on top of each other and hop over walls and all that crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want a 5-man spray from that, huh?
There you go. Yeah, you get some.
DayZ standalone is the epitome there, Lefty. The DayZ standalone is fucking horrible. And I want to say this clear because I get this every day in Facebook messages. I'm sorry, I know you guys want to see me play DayZ, but I attempted. I honestly did. I played 3 fucking hours with Lefty on his live stream one day, and I accomplished jack dick other than getting shot. There's no guns there. You can't arm yourself in the first town. The prey zones are still the same. The guys with the good guns are still preying on the same areas. It's harder to find yourself because the new spawn points. The game does this stupid rubber band lag where you
They did fix that. They did fix that.
They fixed that rubber band
was-
lag where you
that
walk
was
10
fixed.
minutes and literally, I'm not exaggerating, you'd walk for 10 goddamn minutes
Mhm.
and then it'd pull you back. So you accomplish nothing.
Yeah, that was actually the result of another patch that absolutely broke the ping or something on server side that they released a patch that just broke a whole lot of stuff, and so they had to quick release something else. But that issue has been patched. There are still issues. They have a new combat logging and server hopping fix, which is essentially just once you log out of a server, if you've logged into that server for, I don't know, I think there's a timer starts when you log into a server, and then when you log out, if that timer hasn't gone all the way down, you have to wait a good amount of time to join the server next to prevent loot whoring and all that stuff, which I don't agree with. Personally, I think there should be more guns in the game. I think you make it easier for freshies to arm themselves instead of harder. But hey, it's Rocket's game. But I was thinking more from the point that I play DayZ, and sometimes there are a lot of issues with the game. Zombies still no clip through walls, and they just show up next to you and hit you, and if you're unlucky, it could really mess you up. And that seems to me to be a core functionality of the game that isn't working. And sometimes as I'm prone to doing, I'll rant about it on Twitter, and I'll say this is unacceptable. And the common defense seems to be, it's a pre-alpha, you agreed to it, etc., etc., etc. You cannot bitch about this game, and of course I'm bitching, but you cannot bitch about this game because Rocket, the creator of DayZ, of the DayZ mod, and now the guy behind the DayZ standalone, has made you painfully aware that it's a pre-alpha and then blah 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 blah, and the game is going to be in development. But that seems to not make sense to me. That doesn't seem to be logical, because the whole point of an alpha, first of all, is to find these issues, and my bitching in some way might help. And also, Rocket is accepting the checks. Rocket's Right? At some point, you can tell people this product sucks, it doesn't work, it's broken, it's broken, it's broken. And you can say that and be immune from a lot of things, but at some point, you should stop cashing the checks if you still want to use that shield. If you still want to use the shield of, I made you aware that it was broken, if you still want to hide behind caveat emptor, you got to stop accepting the checks. You got to stop cashing them at the bank. You got to stop. Because if you still want to say, well, it's an alpha, it's going to be broken, or if you still want to use the defense of when people say, hey, why isn't this huge issue fixed? Why is new content, why are new patches breaking other things in the game? I thought it was supposed to get better as time progressed because blah, blah, blah. If you want to say, well, it's an alpha, you better stop cashing the checks at some point.
Let me also say this. When I heard of the DayZ standalone right as I got into DayZ, and when I was playing DayZ, I loved the shit out of it. I loved the hunting aspect of it. It almost felt like I was hunting people. And when you said DayZ standalone, pictures of my head came of this game with this crisp engine that ran perfectly, that had all these systems that I enjoyed of the little mod put together in a perfect situation with its own engine. I did not expect you to take the goddamn Arma 2 engine and just pull it out and charge me money again for it.
And that's the question. Should it have been released as because it's not freeware. If it was released as freeware and said, hey, here's the DayZ standalone, you're going to have to pay for it at some point, but help us develop this game, find bugs, all that stuff. But is it morally acceptable to charge money for a game that you know isn't finished, that you know is broken, and you're still in the process of developing? Is that okay? And I think at some point, not that it's inherently evil, but at some point, you either put up or shut up. You either fix things that are broken or you stop cashing the checks. It's that simple.
Yeah, I don't know much about the game, but I've watched a lot of video, and it looks fun. When Wings just said it feels like hunting humans, that's what it looks like to watch. Mm-hmm. And I've watched it from both perspectives. From the perspective of someone who I guess is like a power player who has all their shit together in their full kit, and they're preying on these people running across a valley. And I've also seen it from the perspective of those running across that valley, and you definitely want to be the guy with the gun.
Oh, it was fun running across the valley too, because you were worried at all times about, is there somebody in that hill? Is there going to be a guy can I get to this firehouse? That was fun. It was exhilarating. I don't get that in the standalone. There's just no fucking guns at all. There's nothing to find.
Well, there's one gun. That guy up on the mountainside has it, and he's shooting at you while you're being chased by zombies.
The gun. They've added a few more weapons, Wings, but I think they've also restricted the spawning of weapons like that, which, again, I don't agree with. But the game is slowly progressing in that regard. There are still, again, zombies just glitch through stuff and kill you. Let's see, what are some of the other issues? Sometimes the menu system is still clunky, even though they've revamped it. It's still clunky and it doesn't work exactly right. But it is slowly progressing. So I wouldn't, if I were you, or I would advise you not to write it off completely just yet, because they are adding stuff, and there's still that PvP element. There still is that element of, you've got your M4, you've got your Mosin Nagant, or you've got your your pistols, your Magnum, or whatever else, and then you see somebody, and then there's a firefight ensues, and there still is that element. It's just not as it's odd because it's the standalone game. It's not as polished as it was in the mod, because in the mod there were two different types of AKs. There was the M4, there were the sniper rifles, there was the M14 that you could find, the DMR, all this stuff. And now in the standalone, which is released, which is, like you said, they've done a lot of work to the Arma 2 engine. There's like 5 guns, and it's like
there's an SKS, right?
Yes, they added the SKS. That's another one. Right? Yeah, they added that. That's a nice gun to have.
I think they should give guns that are kind of good but kind of crappy in the town. And I understand you're not going to find an M4 laying in the towns. Give me a fucking 6-shooter or something. Give me something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, put shotgun like they did in the mod. Shotguns and pistols in the towns, which is what a lot of people will probably have in a town setting. Rifles in in a more farm area, and then military spawns. You get your military loot. You get your actual sniper rifles. You get your actual M4 carbines.
Yeah, make that 2-hour walk worth it. Literally,
love-
the 2-hour walk.
Oh, I believe you. I have very little experience with this game, but I've seen a lot about it on Reddit, especially. Reddit seems to like it a lot. I saw a comparison between the map size, and it was a Call of Duty map placed inside of a Battlefield 4 map, placed inside of the DayZ map, and it was just hilarious to see how fucking enormous.
The cool thing about DayZ, I'm sorry to cut you off, is that you literally would need navigation skills. Like you can navigate by the stars in the sky. You can navigate by your compass. I mean, I pictured like the DayZ standalone to have like moss on one side of the tree, so I could use that to navigate to find north and shit like that. But it didn't happen. I mean, but you really needed navigation skills to do it.
It's still in early phases, though, right? Or is this as good as
it's as good as it's going to get. It's using the Arma 2 engine, which can't do that.
I mean, as far as like the balance and the placement of guns and stuff, is this the game?
No.
There's a lot more to come.
There's supposedly a lot more to come. I would hope that a lot of the core issues are going to be fixed, or polished up at least.
Are they trying? Because it seems like it's been years and years.
It has been years.
They are trying. There are server side updates. There was a guy that actually explained it to me. I was bitching once, and the guy explained something to me. It was a more database fix and stuff. So they are working on things, and they are updating the game, but I just don't think it's as quick as... Because here's the other thing. DayZ was the #1 selling game throughout the Steam Winter Sale, and it never went on sale. It's always been, $29.99.
Mm-hmm.
And it beat out. There were AAA titles that were 75-80% off. AAA games that everybody loves. DayZ was always still #1. I think it was knocked off by Rust momentarily as the #1 selling game for like a week, but I think it's back on top now. So the point being, there's a lot of money that Bohemia Interactive and DayZ or Dean Hall, the Rocket, has. And if they wanted to bring in more people, like let's start in earnest, adding things and moving things out of the planning stages, et cetera, they could probably do it, or they could probably add more people. Not that they could make the game happen like that, but I'm sure, almost positive, just they could add a few more people to facilitate and make updating the game faster and easier, better, and make it happen. But I don't see that happening right now, and I think that's one of the valid criticisms of Dean Hall in the release of this standalone. Is that, and he was very candid about it. He did an AMA and Ask Me Anything on Reddit and said, yeah, he essentially said, I'm pretty damn rich. The mod. So hopefully there's more to come quickly.
I find that people with fuck you money are very entertaining on social media and in general. People... those are the guys who are like, they're not going to bite their tongue for anybody. Mm-hmm. It's really fun to watch those guys. I've been watching Dan Blazarian, who's kind of a professional poker player sh race car driver / I guess playboy on Twitter. It's fucking hilarious. There's always naked women and $100,000 cars, $900,000 cars, and you'll see him gambling, and he'll have $5 million in chips and stuff like that. That's a fun Twitter account to follow.
Mm-hmm.
So I like rich people. I really do. We've talked about this before. Rich people are the best people, man. They're really nice people. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The only reason people don't like rich people is because they don't have any rich friends. You just haven't met any.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of rich people.
I'd be a lot nicer if I was rich.
Yeah, you give Wings $5 million, you'd love him. He'd be a he'd be a teddy bear.
Oh yeah.
He would not make you remove him. Well, he may still do that. Make you
it is true though. A lot of Wings' lowest lows are related to financial either trouble or fright. Like the Syndicate day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He wasn't just mad that he lost a game. He was mad that he lost his career. Like he thought it was the end of YouTube for him. I don't know. Money's stressful, man.
It is. If you took money out of my life, I'd be a guy that pretty much I'd be the guy yesterday. I was the guy who pulled trees off the roads and got people out of there being bogged down so they don't have no tow truck.
Exactly. As soon as I thought about you with a lot of money, I immediately pictured you like owning your own like pimped out wrecker truck.
It would be a wrecker truck. It'd probably be like an
F-250. It's got 3 axles, a big boom on it, sound system. It's fucking polished up. None of that white work truck or yellow cat work truck bullshit. It's
candy
shining.
Paint, son.
Yeah,
candy
paint. Chrome rims on a big industrial work truck. All that stuff. Like a
custom
600.
too, motherfucker. 32s.
Yeah, you got a big.
And he dressed like the King of Cocks.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got a felt fedora and.
All right, so I'm gonna call you out a little bit, Wing. So we were in a group text yesterday, and you asked, for video ideas, and I quickly sometimes when I'm just like not really all there, I was drinking a lot yesterday. I come up with interesting ideas, and let me open this text message up, and I had a pretty good idea for a Wings video.
God, I remember these texts, and the ideas were not good.
Dude. All right, so we'll let the audience decide. You guys are out there across the entire globe listening to us right now. Okay, so I said, do Fat Lincoln. Do it right. Take the Gettysburg Address and change the words around and make it funny and about Call of Duty. And then I quickly made something up. I was like, 405 Call of Duties ago, our fathers brought forth onto this console a new game. And just go from there, man. Just I would love to see like maybe some music in the background, maybe the national anthem or something like some triumphant drums and trumpet music, slowly getting louder, and Fat Lincoln just telling it like it is about Call of Duty and being really patriotic about it. I want.
There you go, Wings. You're not going to be Fat Lincoln for much longer, so you better capitalize on this idea. Shit or get off the pot, my friend.
Yeah.
Go.
We've already lost morbidly obese Lincoln. We could never do that.
I'm still morbidly obese.
Oh, God damn it! I'm trying to pay you a compliment, motherfucker. But Fat Lincoln is possible. And dude, Christmas, you gotta dress up as Santa for Christmas, man. What have you been doing for your YouTube career? You are Santa.
Let's see if
you be YouTube Santa. Find YouTubers and give them gifts. And here is your YouTube gift, PewDiePie. It is acting lessons or something like that. Whatever,
Moral obligation. You're morally obligated to not sound like a twit. Oh. Next victim.
I'd love to see Fat Lincoln happen. That's all I'm saying. And I'll tell you what, if you go through the difficulty of getting the Fat Lincoln suit and it looks legit and you got a top hat, a beard, the whole thing, I will write your Gettysburg Address of video games. And I'll knock it out in a night.
There you go.
And I promise it'll be funny.
There you go. Make it happen, Wings.
I'll see what I can do. I still got to do the Apple thing.
Oh, yeah. Dude, do that. I guess you don't want to do it right now. I want to see you do the Apple thing.
I don't have the Apple.
See, you should have apples in your house. The apples are what I go to, if I want a candy bar. I go to an apple or a banana.
I got banana.
Oh, there you go.
We already seen banana fail horribly.
You could, never mind. I think I saw the girl from G4. Who was that really hot girl who used to be on G4?
Olivia something?
Olivia Munn. So Olivia Munn, they did this thing where they lowered a hot dog weenie in from a string.
I know the gift.
Yeah, I'd like to see Wings do that with a banana.
Olivia Munn, isn't she the one that made the dirty texts to the start?
Yeah, you made a video about that.
Did I? I hope I was supporting her because she seemed pretty awesome to me. Yeah.
You were very supportive of it. You're like, hey, these are two people that love each other, just having a little bit of fun here. There's nothing wrong with this.
It's like, right. I think I remember now. It was like, she's a slut in the context of a loving relationship. That's the best kind of slut. That's what you're looking for. That's the target here. That's your objective. For everyone to knock her for dressing up in sexy lingerie and sending a picture to her man saying, come home and get this. What's wrong with you? That sounds perfect. So Olivia Munn's fine by me.
I don't like all this. What do they call it? Maybe using the wrong term. Whore shaming?
Yeah, something like that.
I hate that. Whore shaming is what jealous women do. Jealous women are whore shamers. So whenever you're in your life, on the internet, in real life, in person, in somebody's face, at a group event, anything like that, and you see some cunt talking about Stacy Blue Mark, what a slut, slap that bitch in the face.
Just good advice. This is good advice.
100% agree.
Stacy, not only did Stacy blow Mark, but Mark loved that shit. He would beg for it again, and Stacy's one hell of a chick for sucking that cock.
Exactly.
Okay?
All praise Stacy, unless she's your daughter, at which point this is bad.
Yeah, I'm not talking about going around and just having sex with 2 or 3 guys at a party. Not like that's a problem. That you've probably got some mental issues, some self-esteem problems. Something's going on.
No,
but if you're just
Stacy's are wonderful, just not my kid.
Yeah, exactly. But
I don't want that in
a woman should be able to have a normal sex life that she can, that's a normal fucking sex life where maybe she does, hook up with a guy on Friday night and maybe she calls him back, maybe she doesn't, and she shouldn't have Brenda in accounting giving her shit about it. So fuck you, Brenda. Horse shaming cunt. There have been, and there's some guys out there that may not be on the same page as me. I promise you. There have been times where you didn't get laid because of a horse-shaming cunt like Brenda in accounting.
Damn straight.
I promise you. Because Jessica wanted to suck your dick. She didn't want to date you, but she knew better. She knew if she sucked your dick, the Brenda in accounting would give her shit about it, so she didn't.
Stacy.
And Brenda would love to suck your dick too, by the way. She's just too fucking.
If you know a Brenda, somebody knows a Brenda, and they're gonna go into work.
Somebody knows a Brenda in accounting. That's the best part.
They're gonna be like,
there's some
Brenda.
like 15-year-old listening. His mom's name's Brenda. She's an accountant, and he's just like crying right now, hysterically.
Or if he's in Mississippi, he's like, hey, Mom,
yeah.
What up? I don't know. It's just Mississippi. I don't know. Never
What are
been
your
to
views?
Mississippi.
What are our views on incest? At what point is it okay?
It's funny, right? Like. Of course, I didn't really join in, but I certainly didn't defend Ryan about who do you have sex with, his sister or his cousin, right?
Cousin.
Yeah,
yeah. First cousin. Third cousin's a cutoff.
Third cousin, huh?
Third cousin.
Yeah, because
So you would fuck the third cousin, or you would not fuck?
It all depends if she's down to fuck or not, and what she looks like.
She's down to fuck.
Is it the third cousin I see at the family reunions, or is it the third cousin that we just happen to be third cousins never met? That also means something too.
The second option.
New third cousin, never met her. She's smoking hot, ready to.
Yeah, she getting the pussy pounded.
Yeah, I saw a thing on Reddit. The guy was like, I had sex with.
Me to clam a hammer.
The guy said he had sex with his cousin's girlfriend at a family reunion, and then afterwards he found out that he had actually had sex with his cousin. That it was, that he was the other guy. He was really the other guy by marriage. That so he had fucked his first cousin or something. That's too close. That's definitely too close.
Do you feel bad afterwards, the fact though?
I don't know.
I just wouldn't mention it. I wouldn't lose sleep over it.
I look, genetically, first cousin's far enough. You don't share that much genetic material. It's okay. So to me, it's a social question, and. I don't know, man. I just like there's a difference between the first cousin that like Kyle. Don't you have a cousin? It's a guy who's like your best friend, and it's Scott I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Is he your first cousin?
First cousin. Our dads are brothers.
All right. So let's say hypothetically Scott was a girl, and you had a relationship that was that close with her.
Well, he has a sister, so no,
okay.
I couldn't do that.
Right. See
No.
That'd be not a fit there, it's too close. Your family, it's not it. But let's say that it was a different thing, and you hardly saw them, and they lived one state away, and it was this perfect situation.
Scott, I've never noticed that when the sun hits your eyes, they look so blue.
Now just imagine she's down to suck your dick.
Puberty's treated you well, Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've really filled
good.
out.
Yeah. So in that situation, I swear I'm not as anti as most people.
See, if they're two consenting adults, I don't care.
Yeah, I look at it
You
this
could be
way.
sister,
You could die
brother,
tomorrow.
sister,
Get
brother,
that
brother,
pussy.
mother and son.
Lefty went all the way. Mother, son, brother, sister.
As long
Hey, it's in the Bible, motherfucker.
When you get into parental stuff, and first order family stuff, because I'm assuming here that there was no mental abuse that allowed for the relationship to foster.
And my dog doesn't give a shit. He fuck his mama.
He's a
I've got
dog.
Lefty on the big screen. I really enjoyed watching his eyes process that.
But I'm assuming in the when I say mother son stuff that and brother or sister that there was no mental abuse that made the relationship exist in the first place. If it's just two consenting adults who just happen to be brother and sister, mother and son, I don't care. What now?
You just
now
happen
when
to
you
be trying to crawl back up the space that got you.
don't be upset when you start having funny looking kids or kids that are all sickly and stuff, but
Is that
what am I to
true?
say?
It's less true than people think. I mean,
It's
is
less
it?
true.
I mean, like, didn't like the royal families keep it in the family for like the longest time?
Yeah, and that's why they had a few. So the royal families are very inbred, and you'll see lots of health problems with them and lots of genetic conditions because it's a process of it's a tradition of inbreeding. If you could totally have a kid with your mom, and yes, the odds of that kid having some sort of a disorder, whatever it may be, genetically, are higher. But they're probably like 5 or 6% higher. It's not
Is
like
it even 5 or 6%?
no, I
maybe
think
not.
it's
I don't
less. I
think
think
so.
it's like under 3.
Yeah, it's just you're just slightly more likely because you have so many commonalities and so many if I've got this negative gene, she almost certainly has it as well. So the odds are a little bit higher, but it's not like in the movies where you have these snaggle-toothed like retarded
Exactly.
babies.
Yeah, you got fucking the guy from Goonies.
Yeah, it's not like Simpsons. You don't end up with like the Simpsons redneck people that are all inbred. You don't end up with the Goonies, anything like that. Normally, you could totally have a kid with your sister. It'd be all right.
Do it to it, as long as you're consenting adults. If you think your sister is looking mighty fine and she thinks you're looking mighty fine,
Or you happen to be Dexter.
It's yeah. It's total. Well, that wasn't his real sister. They the whole thing, like what he said, is it's a social issue, right? You couldn't deal with that judgment if no one knew that you were related. Like if you were, let's say hypothetically, you and your super super hot sister were the last remaining members of your family. You moved to Alaska. Sure, go for it. I don't care. Nobody's ever gonna know. You've already got the same name. No need for any of that silly paperwork.
there you go.
You're done.
That's just solid advice from Painkiller.
There you go,
already.
folks. PKA is pro incest.
Should
As
we
long
wrap
as
it
it's not, as long as there's
let's
no
wrap it
coercion or
right
mental
there.
abuse involved.
There we go. We'll wrap it on an incest note. I think that's probably a first for podcasting.
I think
Don't feel ashamed if you jerk your shit to your sister.
I don't,
All right, that's perfect. Don't feel. Say it again, Wings.
Don't feel ashamed if you got to jerk your shit to your sister.
There it is. Painkiller already. 167.
Bye.